All right, let's roll. Wicked Wednesday has begun. The pimps, the players, the hustlers, the patrons, everybody else in between, we appreciate you joining us here this evening. It's been a long day. It's been a busy day. It's been a crazy ass day. Started out with 3 hours of combat this morning on the morning show. I almost felt like Corey was back. I was like 3 hours of combat. Figured we'd invite Jim Day to hang out here this evening. And then we did the radio show, but the radio show was a fucking battle. The radio show was a battle today. As we went to, we were going to video on Monday, YouTube for Game Time Decisions, which is cool. It looks good. It looks good, but the sound was different, and I was having a meltdown. I'm kind of tired, and I'm on edge. I think that's why I probably am so angry about Odell Beckham, considering I'm not even a New York Giant fan, and somehow I'm like enraged 24 hours later about this. And oh yeah, by the way, it's fucking gold. You can't make this shit up, man. We'll get right into it. That's what we're talking about, Odell Beckham. So, I just saw right now, it was just, I retweeted it. The New York Giants have to pay Eli Manning a $5 million bonus tomorrow. It's like, oh, that's just fucking, that, if you're on, listen, Odell Beckham's like Donald Trump, fuck, all right? You either love the guy or you hate the guy. Like even Giant fans, like the vitriol reaction today, of Giant fan is either fuck him, he was a cancer, he was always hurt, we didn't win with him anyways. He's a prima donna, blah, 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 blah. All this other stuff. You get that group, and then you get the other group of Giant fans that are like, fuck the Giants. They're dumpster fired. They're losers. They got rid of Landon Collins. They got rid of Odell Beckham. They're keeping Eli Manning. I'm going to tell you, it seems, I didn't do a poll question. I'm surprised. I usually do this shit. I was so busy arguing all day about it. Didn't fire for poll question. But I think more people are against Odell Beckham. I think more people don't like him. I think people stereotype him. I think he's been typecast. I think this is crazy to say. I think he's underrated. As crazy as that sounds, he's underrated. Eli Manning's terrible, all right? Like the level of quarterback play that this dude has dealt with. Now, listen, you could argue DeAndre Hopkins is better. Hopkins has dealt with bad quarterback play too and gotten it done, right? And gets hurt less than him. I'm not even saying, listen, maybe Odell's not the best wide receiver in the NFL. Maybe you like Antonio Brown better. Maybe you like Julio Jones better. And you can argue, well, look, Antonio Brown's a head case. Julio Jones is not. Julio Jones is pretty fucking cool. You know, he's surly, you know, but he keeps his mouth shut for the most part. Like, he'll get into it with him behind the scenes, but, you know, he got into it with him last year a bit, but they put that fire out fast, the Falcons. They're all, let's trade him. They put the fire out. They put that fire out. The Giants let the fire burn and then sort of got bigger and bigger. And, you know, basically it's like kids, man. The Giants are fucking dedicated to Eli Manning. And Mike Cardano brought up a good point on Twitter, and I saw him today, and he said, you know, when the Giants fucking were locked in to trade this guy, but not, you know, listen, they gave him the big contract extension, so I don't think they wanted to trade him. It just sort of imploded fast. They're idiots. That's the thing. And they're doing all of this because of Gettleman and because of Shermer, two clowns that won't even be there in 2 fucking years. So, but Cardano brought up a good point, and Jim Day will remember this being a Giant fan, is that, and I've always had a soft spot for my Giants, for the Giants, besides they beat my Bills in the Super Bowl. But, you know, I've gotten every Giant game my whole life, fuck, you know? You get every fucking Giant game, fuck, in fucking Montreal. Like, every Giant game and every Patriot game. Fucking Patriots. But when Odell Beckham fucking pissed on the when he pissed in the end zone after a touchdown, when he did the dog thing, he lifted his leg like, and he fucking like a fire hydrant on the cone in the end zone, and basically, I guess the Mariners were disgusted, right? They didn't like that. And then last year when it could have been worse. Like, if you look at Antonio Brown and Big Ben, and you look at some players in the league, like, there's been bigger feuds. But when he dropped it unsolicited when he basically stated, and the Giants were pissed about that. And I should have brought this up today, but we don't have so much time, in that he did that interview without telling him. Now, listen, does Odell Beckham have to tell the New York Giants what he's doing? No. And it goes to show the power of what these teams think. They want to control the narrative, right? So they don't want Odell Beckham just going on a show without them knowing about it, because they want to say no, right? Like, if Josina asked them, they would have said, oh, God, no, fuck. I mean, no, he's too busy. He can't do it, right? So she went around them and went right through Odell Beckham. Now, that's what you have to do. And only bigger players will do it. Like, less players won't fucking piss the organization off. A star player can do whatever the fuck he wants. So he did that interview, and then he dropped fucking, well, you know, she said, are you happy in New York? And he goes, oh, I'm happy. You know, Eli's the man, and I love New York, but I sometimes wonder what it would be like to play with a quarterback that could throw the ball down the field. He said, you know, all these little dump offs, and, you know, and then the Giants were pissed. And because I said he didn't do anything today, but I'm just telling you what, you know, he pissed in the end zone. He threw Eli Manning under the bus. He did. When he said it would be like, yeah, he did. He basically said, look, the quarterback sucks. What do you want me to say? And then when he was hurt later in the year, when he got injured, and he really was injured, but when he got injured, he fucking talked about it on Facebook. Like, he went on Facebook and he said, my ankle's fucked up. Somebody asked him, how you feeling? And he answered. He goes, not good. My ankle's fucked up. He said, my ankle's all whacked or something, like whatever, in slang. He said, my ankle ain't right or whatever. And the Giants were pissed. They're like, what the fuck's this guy telling people his fucking injuries on fucking Facebook for, right? So it was building up. And Shermer can't handle him. Shermer can't handle him. You know what I mean? Shermer's in over his head as a coach. The guy was a fucking coordinator in Minnesota. Good for you, fuck. You know what I mean? Good for you, fuck. So he's a deer in the headlights. Gettleman's fucking in over his head. It's a train wreck. They really are a dumpster fire. And it's comical that they have to pay Eli Manning $5 million more tomorrow on top of the fucking $20 million he's making this year. $25 million or something. And And get this, I heard like the Giants, like Eli, like basically said, I'm not like fucking taking any pay cut or restructuring anything, like so you can sign players. Like Eli's about Eli, yeah. And listen, Eli's been a great Giant. He's showed up every week. I'm not gonna say Eli's about Eli. He's been a great Giant, but he ain't. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna stay for as long as you fucking let him, guys. And you're gonna keep cutting checks for this guy. And I love how Giant fans that don't like it and people like justify this somehow. That let Odell go and keep paying Eli. Fuck, that's a fucking great fucking move. Bravo, fuck. All right, that's rebuilding, all right. Yeah, when you give the $5 million, I got more ammo in the morning. Fuck, trust me, I'll be back for round 2. Fucking, oh yeah, you're rebuilding, all right, paying Eli Manning more money now. Here's another $5 million, Eli. Fuck, how long are you gonna pay this guy for the fucking Super Bowl? You look at Nick Foles. Nick Foles flat out won the Philadelphia Eagles the Super Bowl for him, and it was worth about fucking $10 million. You know, they hooked him up. They said, listen, thanks. They fucking gave him the bonuses. They were like, they gave him every bonus possible. You know, in the end, it worked out to he walked away with like 13 mil after or something for basically winning the Super Bowl for them. You know, they didn't say, hey, Nick Foles, you have a job for life with us now. Like Eli's in for life. Watch, they won't even draft a quarterback. They'll draft a quarterback in like the 3rd or 4th round. They'll take Will Grier or something and fucking, you know, fucking Gettleman, oh, we like this guy. We didn't need to do this and that. That's the thing, though. You know, they owe Eli a lot. He won 2 Super Bowls. The motherfucker played every week for the last 12 years. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm not saying, you know, like fucking shoot him. You know what I'm saying? But they really haven't handled this like well. Like, and I'm going to wrap this up and we'll move on. But the other thing that people say, the other argument was, well, if you're rebuilding, why do you have Odell Beckham? Or not rebuilding, but because the thing is, the Giants' offense is loaded. So they're not rebuilding. They need a couple of defensive players and a coach that knows what he's doing, and they're a winning team. Like the Giants aren't this like fucking train wreck that needed to start over. It was a shitty year last year because they hired a shitty coach. All right? And they have a shitty quarterback. Their defense wasn't great, but they're not that far off. So they're making themselves far off here. It's, you know, Odell Beckham's 26. If you're rebuilding, I don't know, you have a 26-year-old superstar under contract. like it's baffling to me. And it's just comical. And then the other thing as well, you can't, you know, if you're going to have a rookie quarterback, what's the use of having Odell Beckham? Yeah, I know, because Baker Mayfield's this big veteran in the NFL. The Cleveland fucking Browns, fuck, right? Second-year quarterback, fuck, 22 years old. Yeah. Get Odell Beckham for the 22-year-old kid. Man, you have Dwayne Haskins dropping back. Dwayne Haskins can throw the ball like 60, 70 yards in the air, man. Eli Manning can throw the ball like 17 yards, fuck, and not even. And he'll fucking float there. Dude, Odell Beckham's open on every fucking play. You know what it is? It's coming together. I got a lot of knives. I can better analogies here, but basically, Odell Beckham is like a young fucking puppy. You know, you see old ladies walking a dog, and the dog's walking all slow and being held back, and you're like, poor dog. You're like, lady, take the leash off. Let him run around the park here a bit. Right? That's Eli and Odell. Fuck. Odell fucking wants to run, and he can't. He can't run down the field because he's like, what's the point? Eli can't throw it down the field. The best touchdown pass thrown last year by the fucking Giants was Odell Beckham. Like, if you remember that game, we were after the, great game by Eli, Giants won. I'm like, oh, yeah, the game that fucking, you mean the one that Odell threw the touchdown pass and caught the touchdown pass? So we're getting a little worked up. Well, good to see you, Pittsburgh Brew. Kyle Hamburg, Kyle Johnson, Jim Day, Shauna. What's up, Tolkien? Frank Minion, Jazz, Bruce Chad, Fred. Where am I going to be? I'm going to be in Atlantic City next week, Fred. What's up, Chase L? Good to see you, Chase. Vegas Gun, Nick Papa Giorgio. I was hoping the Leafs were going to come back and win just so we could troll Bruce Chad. Like Bruce Chad, really, 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 and we love you, Bruce, but I'm not picking on you here tonight. You haven't said anything here tonight. Like, I don't care what you say. I only get angry when you talk about the Raptors. That's it. Only the Raptors. You control anything else, but I do get mad when you talk about the Raptors. You're unqualified, but that's beside the point. You're just a hater. You're just a hater. But what's up, Scartown? No, but I actually saw Bruce on Twitter. And it was like 5. I don't even know who the Leafs played tonight. I'm in basketball mode. I got a money line parlay on St. John's here. I apologize for not posting it on Patreon. I had a crazy day today. And yeah, so I see. What's up, Kovacs? So I see Bruce on Twitter. He's like 5-0. He's like, LOL. Every time the other team is scoring, LOL Leafs. Like, that is trolling. Now, you're not doing it directly at Leaf fans, but you kind of are. So, that's our poll question of the night tonight. Is Bruce Chad a troll? He's got trolling tendencies. There's trolling tendencies. $100% yes. I think the answer would be yes. All right, St. John's getting a little cold here. 16-12. DePaul goes on a little 6-0 run with 16-6. 12-25 mark. I like Washington State in the late games. I don't really love the card tonight. I'm on Illinois. I posted the picks for you guys. You know who it is. Damn it. What is the score in that Illinois game? $28-25 for the Illini. We're on them. Let's get it. I like UCLA as well. They're up 34-20. I didn't take it. Tonight was sort of one of those nights where it's like, I kind of like that, and I didn't do it. But I like TCU, and they were laying 4, and I didn't take it. And I saw TCU up by like fucking 28 or something. I'm like, oh, fuck me. Fuck. I left a game on the board last night I liked too. I didn't take it. I'm like, I didn't do it. The Northern Kentucky game to go over. I didn't bet it for some reason. I'm fucking pissed I didn't. It was an easy winner over 133. And so I was sitting here all pissed off. I'm like, fuck, I should have taken TCU. Fucking, I look up right now. I see TCU only won by 3. It's the thing with college basketball. There's these crazy little runs and stuff. Well, we're on Illinois. Now they're up by 5 on Northwestern. Northwestern are a train wreck. Like, I looked at this game, I was thinking, it's a terrible game. It's one of these tonight. It was one of these games where I was like, man, this is an ugly game. Because like, I don't even want to bet these games. I'm looking like, God, it's conference tournament stuff, but it's the dregs, right? Like, it's the play-in of the conference tournaments, the Rutgers and the Nebraskas of the world and stuff. So I see Northwestern and Illinois. I'm like, holy crap, what a bad game. I was thinking about it. I'm like, well, Northwestern are like 1-9 in their last 10 games, and they're in a free fall, and things are bad. Illinois have actually won a few games in the last 2 weeks. They actually play hard. They're a young team. Like they're building. You know what I mean? Their mentality isn't the same. Like Northwestern's is going to be like, get the hell out of here. Like this season's done. Like they're not getting invited to any tournament. There's no tournament if you win less than 10 games. You know what I mean? There's no tournament this year for Northwestern. So these kids tonight, they come into this knowing, I'm not winning the Big Ten. Like we're not winning the Big Ten tournament and, ooh, we're going to the dance Cinderella. It's not happening. You know? Like I guarantee you, there wasn't one kid on Northwestern that came into tonight thinking, man, all we got to do is win 4 games and we're going to March Madness. We're going to the tournament. It's like, not way. Would someone say that to be like, yeah, we're beating Michigan State and fucking Michigan and Purdue and Wisconsin. It's like, you know, guys, we're 7 and fucking 23, all right? We're terrible. Like, they're a terrible team. Meanwhile, Illinois actually have a little pride. Like, you know, they're a young team. Thing is, Illinois are bad too. So it's 30-27 at the half right now. Our other picks are, we have the over in this St. John's game. I have a bigger play to close out this money line parlay. And then we have, we lost the Brooklyn net pick. Lose the Brooklyn net pick. Kind of frustrating. They were in the game all night. Yeah, they were in the game all night. And Oklahoma City started hitting a bunch of threes in the last like 5 minutes. It's just one of those pull away type of games. And like I said, we'll get into Washington State. I think that game's like at 11:30. So we got the West Coast inputter Jazz in the house. St. John's just misses a 3, and this game's going to be a fucking sweat job. I know it all night. I tell you what, St. John's needs to win this game to get into the tournament. Like they can't afford losing to DePaul. You get swept by DePaul. They've already been swept on the regular season. Like they lose to DePaul again, they're out. Like, you know, I thought that you know, they're kind of in what they are, but I didn't realize they were 8 and 10 in conference play. Like, man, they miss a lot of shots, St. John's. Like it's just, everything's hard for them. 18-12. I think St. John's aren't a great defensive team, so their games are kind of weird. Like their totals are high, and sometimes they sail over the number of St. John's games, and at other times you're like, man, this game doesn't have a hope in hell of going over. Like these kids can't hit a shot. Why is the total 156 or whatever? So it's kind of a weird dichotomy. Like they don't really play defense, yet they're not a good shooting team. Like St. John's aren't the type of team they're going to be draining threes all night and shit, right? Like St. John's get going by playing, you know, sort of street ball, essentially. They're like a New York street ball team. Like they really are. Like when they do play defense, at least the transition, like they're better when they push the tempo a bit here. And see, they're in a half-court setting. And see, I was going to say, they're not good in a half-court set, and then boom, right away, offensive foul. Like, how do you do that? Like, you can't even set up without, like, getting a foul, really? Yeah, I don't even think they're a tournament-worthy team, to be honest. But let's just get through this damn game. Nah, these games don't matter, Fred, down the stretch. I hate to say it, but yeah, it'd be nice to win the Big Ten and stuff, but yeah, it's about the Big Ten tournament, and now it goes in, it's about March Madness. Michigan will be fine in the tournament. Holy shit. Good job, St. John's. You fucking fouled the kid taking a 3, and he hit it. Whoa, it's gonna be a stress job. This is gonna be a stress job. That was a nice shot by the kid. Yeah, Clemson got screwed, but Clemson suck. And you asked if I've ever been to Biloxi. No, I never. I've been in Mississippi, but I've never been to the sports books there. The sports books just open. Although it should be cool down there. Yeah, even in the games, what about Fanatical Jim? Even in the games, they're inconsistent. You know what I mean? Like game by game, but even within the game. Like for 6-7 minutes, sometimes you'll be like, oh, well, this team's fucking good. Like they're busting their balls defensively. They're diving for loose balls. They're like a New York street team. And you're like, well, they're really good. And then they'll go like 10 minutes. They can't score. Pons is their best player, but he misses a lot of fucking shots. Like he's overrated. Like people talking about the NBA and stuff. Yeah, he's going to the NBA, but he'll get drafted, but it doesn't mean he'll last. Like the NBA is a cold league where like they don't really care. Like even if you're a first round pick and you're not good, they're like, well, he's not good enough. It is what it is. There's only two rounds. You know what I mean? Like you'll see the NBA gives up on players fast. Like it's basically a gamble. It's almost like meeting a chick. Like the NBA, like they don't really know. It's like a gamble whether you're going to be able to play in the league or not. But they can tell fast once they see you in the NBA. They're like, oh, fuck, this isn't going to work. You know what I mean? like look at like my boy Nick Stauskas. Great three-point shooter in the tournament. Great player with Michigan. People are like, oh, he's going to be like a JJ Redick type. He's going to hit threes in the NBA. And he's, you know, the guy's been in the league for 5 years. He's been on like 8 teams. He can't play. You know what I mean? He'll play 3 minutes a night. You know, it's like you can be a really good college player. It doesn't matter in the NBA. Like it doesn't matter. They don't play all their home. No, they don't play many games at MSG, actually, Jimmy. They play in, what's up, Lisa? What's up? What's up, Grinch? Yeah, they play in Queens. They play in Queens. And congratulations, Lisa. I saw you you hit at the casino the other night. I missed that. What'd you win? Like $3,000? That's awesome. Settle down, Grinch. Settle down, Hamburg. I don't want to hear about any Bollywood gangbangs here. Wow, $3,500. On what? On roulette? What did you win? What were you playing? Roulette? On the slots. You got to be gambling in Canada, tax free. That's unbelievable. Lakers, Raptors, Mavs, Nuggets. All right. Well, at least we get to see the Raptors kick the shit out of the Lakers. Where is that game? Oh, I guess it's in Toronto, right? Yeah. So, what's up, Paco Healy? You know these kids are great shooters, like in college. What's up, Cody? When the ball just got stuck against the rim, like in between the basket, like the ball just got stuck between the basket and the glass. But that's like those are the shots that we're shooting here in this game. And amazingly enough, like I said, it's crazy. Like they can't shoot yet. they've already scored like 39 points combined. Like they're on pace for like 160 points, even though neither team can shoot, or St. John's can. That's a nice shot by St. John. Oh, I'm on the Houston Rockets. What's going on in this game? Shudder, I dare I even look. Why do I do this to myself? The kid just tried the same shot 2 times in a row. He hit it the first time, but not the second time. Oh, fuck off. This angle's not good for like changing the TV. Fuck, man. All right, Golden State and Houston. Let's watch some real basketball. And the first thing I see is a massive dunk by the Golden State Warriors, who 33-21, of course. I never win fucking Houston Rocket games. So, yeah, Babano will join us shortly. I say this all the time, but fuck, I got to get some rest tonight. Normally, listen, I plow through this stuff, and to be honest, I'm kind of used to the 4-hour sleep now, 4.5 hours. I go through phases in a day. You know, I've been feeling better recently, actually, to be honest. I've been more energetic recently, but I realized, man, I look terrible. Fuck. It's the thing, like this fucking show in the morning is on TV, like. So I stay up and it's catching up. I'm like, holy fuck! I don't watch myself on TV, but I saw myself on TV yesterday. Fucking, it's like, because the angle now that I'm alone in the studio, it's a big close up of me all the time. That's the thing; it's different. I realized that, man. Like, I don't like it. Yeah, like before it was like a wide shot because Michelle was there, and they go to Corey, and it was sort of a wide pan shot on me. Now I'm fucking, you know what I mean? They do that box shit. So like, it's my fucking face, man, is right fucking there. So I saw myself in HD and I looked, I'm like, holy fuck, man. I look like Abe Vigoda, fuck. I look like Fish from the Barney Miller show. I look like I was like 78 years old. Like fucking. I actually looked and I saw, I was in a bar, fuck. I look up and I was like, holy shit. Because they have it on in the in the bar at the hotel, and I was like, "Oh my god, I fucking look terrible." Now, people aren't tuning in for my looks to begin with, but even if I'm, I'm not vain, so like even if I'm like, "Oh man," like, and yeah, I didn't just tell, I'm getting a little dizzy and shit, like. The last couple of nights, I haven't slept enough, and it's been stressful days recently. Yeah, people live shorter on the East Coast, Paco. I don't know why anyone lives here. It's more expensive. It's colder. It's more violent. Why do any of us live on the East Coast? Like, remind me. I always like ask myself this, like often. And when I lived in LA, same shit. I was in California. I was like, I don't know why the fuck I never fucking moved here earlier. Like, when I was a kid, but I was like, I'm never leaving here. And then same shit when I moved to Nevada after Las Vegas. I was like, man, I don't know, fuck. I was like, finally, I was like, man, I don't know why it took so long to get it out of my head that the East Coast. And same with Vancouver. Every time I'm out there, I'm like, oh fuck, I should just stay here. It's way nicer out here. And fucking, it's just people are laid back. It's not as stressful. It's just a different lifestyle. But at the same point in time, it sounds crazy, but if you're from the East, like if you're used to this sort of like these major cities like this, they're somehow like addicting. Fuck, like it's weird. You know what I mean? Like it's sort of like I don't know. I'm not gonna say you get bored, but you do like on the West a bit. LA is different. LA is like Vegas is, Vegas is very redundant because Vegas isn't very big. It's the casinos and like every day is sort of the same in Vegas. LA, you can mix it up a bit. LA is a cool place, but I'm just saying even LA is different. Like the vibe, like in a city like fucking New York City or Boston, Montreal, Toronto, etc. It's it is, and especially in the summertime or in the spring or fall. It's just basically winter sucks. Winter sucks, and also the prices. Like the East Coast is like the expensive. Like I know that on the West Coast, some places are expensive, but for the most part, like look, the Midwest is cheap, the South is cheap. It's just the East is the gouge fest. But where are you from, Jimmy Mack? Yeah, I hear you saying Paco. San Diego is a beautiful city. I've only been there once, but I was only there 2 days, so I don't really know it that well. But I liked it. It was nice. It's quiet. You know what I mean? Very nice, nice city, San Diego. LA and Vegas. I lived in them both. I'm a fan of both. I'm a fan of both. But let's not talk about cities where to move. We've been through this. We go through it. The search continues. The search continues. Whatever, fuck. Like I said, if I left here and I was like, oh, I got to go or I'm leaving, and I mean, I'd go to, I'm not, I'm talking shit about all these places. Instead of moving to a really, really cheap place, I just need to make more money. but like Vancouver's a nice town. I like Vancouver. Like I'd give, that's where I would go, Vancouver. And listen, Vancouver is expensive by Canadian standards, but I can handle it. And, next to here, it's nothing. Vancouver's not as expensive as people make it out to be honest. Toronto's more expensive than Vancouver. Toronto, like Vancouver is expensive. I'm not saying it's not. It's an expensive city. Don't get me wrong. It's fucking expensive, but it's not, it's not New York. It's not San Francisco. It's not even really Toronto. I know what my brother pays for rent, and he lives in a nice condo. I know what Kent pays. I know his place. You know what I mean? I know what the rents are in downtown Vancouver. Fuck, I've seen it firsthand, like now. So, you know, like an apartment in Vancouver, a nice condo in Vancouver. It's like fucking. You can get a really nice place in Vancouver for like $2,400. Look right now on Craigslist or one of these places or one of these sort of things. Yeah, like even in Harlem right now, in the bad part of Harlem, it's fucking $2,000 and $1,800. I think Corey pays two dimes. He pays about that, and like he's in a sort of a nicer part. My brother lives in a very nice place. His place is $1,700 in fucking right fucking basically across the street from fucking BC Place. $1,700. I know, because I looked. When I was gonna move to Vancouver, I saw a place. Even recently, like a few months ago, I was looking, and like I said, like once you get over $2,000 there, like you can get pretty much whatever you want. In the condos, I'm talking about condos. Houses, you got to buy a house and shit, but Vancouver's whole market is just a big bubble scam because of Asia. That's the thing. Like, it's like San Francisco, right? There's like the haves and the have-nots. San Francisco is expensive, man. I saw a thing yesterday or 2 days ago. The average rent right now. The average rent right now. The average rent, like not even like, oh, the up rent. No, the average for a one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco is $3,700 a month. We were talking about that here. Somebody, it was Drew's boy Chuck was bringing. We were talking about this, that like now in New York, like in Manhattan, like $5,000-6,000 a month is normal. Like we're talking about, like, it's going to be $10,000 a month in a couple of years. Like no joke. Like already is in some places, but that's where we're heading here. You know what I mean? Like I see fucking shit when I'm in Manhattan. I'm like, oh, that's a pretty cool condo, and I'll look, and I'll look it up, or I'll see the fucking listing and shit. I'm like, holy fuck, it's fucking $4,800 a month. It's like $4,800 a month for a one bedroom fucking, or 1.5. Like, you get this skyline and you're right in Manhattan and shit, but it's like essentially $5,000 a month. And that's not even the high end stuff. I know, Skooma. Oh, see, that's not bad here in Queens. Yeah, Queens, it's a little cheaper. But exactly. Dude, when I lived in Vegas, man. I paid fucking $1,350, I think it was. I paid $1,350 for a fucking luxury condo. Beautiful pool, 24-hour service, security. It was a good place, that place. Fucking great view. Yeah, it was $1,300 a month, fuck. Like in Vegas. Like you said, man. Zab Judah like sold his house like the boxing champion. It's like fucking, basketball court, tennis court, pool, fucking, like it was like the White House, had pillars in the front and shit. Like, it was basically what you would expect like a boxer to buy. You know what I mean? Like Zab Judah. I think he paid like $1 million for it. He made it himself, or he put shit in it. And Joey Odessa knows the guy that bought it. And he sold it for like $400,000. He was like, yeah, give me 425 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, you look at it, it's like, it looks like LeBron James's estate or something. You know what I mean? In Toronto, like the condo I used to live in, and I do the show out of there, that was like $400K. Fuck. Toronto real estate's a stiff. Like all those markets are fucking screwed though. The Toronto real estate market's screwed. New York is screwed too. New York is screwed too. Like basically, it's so expensive for like the average person. So like the luxury stuff, I guess, like basically like the towers here and shit. So like the office space and stuff like that, it's so expensive now that companies just don't want to do it. They can't justify it. You know what I mean? Like more and more companies are like, we're not going to pay fucking $14 million a year in rent to be in the Chrysler building. Fuck, you know what I mean? So that's why Trump was tweeting the other day. That's why everyone's leaving New York. And it actually is true. I read the real estate part in the paper every day when I'm on the ferry there, but like they talk about all these buildings I pass by. And that one behind me, that Hudson Yard one, is going to be a successful. Like NBC's moving in there and shit. But like a lot of companies that used to want to get space are like, it's too expensive. We'll fucking go to fucking, we'll go to Atlanta. You know what I mean? We'll go to Miami. We'll go to wherever, like different places where it's cheaper. And you get tax breaks too. As New York, they tax you up the ass, right? Yeah, all these bubbles, they all burst. It's a good thing though, actually. It's a bad thing for people to buy it. It's a bad for people to buy it because the market's going to change. Like the Canadians are big in debt, Americans are big in debt and all that shit. But I'm talking more about the Canadian market. The States is so big. Every state is different. Every market's different. You know what I mean? Hell, the markets here are different in the city, right? Like in different parts of the city. But I'm saying like in places like Toronto and Vancouver, they built so many of these condos. They built so many of them. There's too many of them. Like there's just too many of them. Like as many people that move to Toronto and shit, there's just too many of these condos. They're like just basically like new apartments now. You know what I mean? Like they just keep going up and up and up. And you look at them, it's like, whatever. I lived in Liberty Village. Like half of them fucking were half empty all the time. Like people buy them and, for investments and shit. Yeah, what's going on in this fucking DePaul game, which I'm very concerned about. $33.29 for St. John's. Exactly, Spencer S. You live in Toronto, in the hipster down. You see it. Dude, they keep going up. Look at Liberty Village. At first it was like, oh, Liberty Village, so cool. I live there. My condo was pretty full, to be honest, but I noticed as time went on, it got less and less full. When I moved into that place in Liberty Village, near the network at the time, when I moved in the first summer, the first year and shit, it was like party central. There was all these like sort of university people, and it was sort of fun, and you know what I mean? And one by one, I noticed they were leaving, And basically like 2 years later, the condo was just boring. Everyone was gone. Remember the crazy chick was gone, the partiers, everyone was gone. And I asked someone, I said, what's going on here? Fuck. And they basically said, wow, fucking, they keep raising it. It's just too expensive for these people. They're like, it's $2,200 a month. And you know what I mean? It's just, I remember one guy, he goes, yeah, I like it here, but I just can't afford it. He goes, I'm moving to fucking, I'm moving on Ossington Street. Like he's out. So it's like one by one, they were tapping out. And I know a dude that bought a condo in Liberty Village, and it's the biggest regret. Like he was a regret. The condo fees are up the ass. He has a hard time renting it out because there's a million condos for rent in Liberty Village. You know what I mean? It's not this paradise to own this shit. Like people think, oh, I own a condo in Toronto. Great. It's like, yeah, good for you. Good luck with that. And some of these ones, they're built so poorly. They're all like thin. Like the place that he had, I know it's just like a cheap building. Like it was thrown up quickly. And, like look in front of where the Spencer S, on King Street, where the rugby team plays. on Jefferson and King. You know what I mean? Right in that area there. They're building like a massive one. It's like 4 city blocks, man, of this massive condo complex. Once again, I know, man, I always look at condo market like to rent. I like to poke around that shit and just see, what is it in Toronto here? What's that place? And you know what I mean? That place DNA on King and Strong Street in downtown Toronto. That black one that they built, sort of nice and new. It's like a morgue, that place. Fuck. Walk past it. There's like 8 lights on. Fuck. You know what I mean? There's like 8 lights. You know, they always promise, the neighborhood this. It's like, whatever. You have a bank underneath it and a dry cleaner or something, you know? There's just too many. There's just too many. Even Parkdale's getting expensive now. And they're pushing people out of Parkdale. That's what I'm saying, Truth. Like there's just so many of these places, man, that like for the rent, you know what I mean? I don't know though. I don't own a home, so I can't really speak of it, but a lot of people that I speak to regret buying houses. I know a girl, she had a condo in Montreal, and it was nice. She even sold it for like fucking 600,000-700,000, and she gladly sold it. Like she wanted out. Fuck. Like you know, even I remember Tim McAuliffe when I was in the school. I remember Tim McAuliffe bought a house when I was there. So years ago when he bought his house, and he was all happy. And then I swear a couple of days later, I saw him at his desk, and I used to talk to him. I got along with Tim. Like I don't talk to him now, but I said, "What's up, Tim?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm just thinking about my house." And he goes, if I make every payment on time every month, he goes, it'll be paid off when I'm 58. And he goes, I'm 29 now or whatever. So he basically realized like, I'm in for life. Like, you know, I guess like I would say, I'm not saying real estate's a bad thing, but I'm saying some of these condos, I think homes are different than condos. I don't know the housing market. Seems like the homes are worth a shitload of money everywhere. But even that business chick, Amanda Lang, she did a thing on it, and she's a smart finance girl, right? So she did a thing like 2 years ago. I saw it, or a year ago, and she's basically saying it's better to rent. She said, you know, it's kind of you've been taught to believe, but she was talking about with the condo fees or when you own a house and this and that. And basically, if you add it up, because even if you sell your place, you still need a place to live after, right? I remember in downtown when I lived in Toronto, a guy, one company offered everyone in our condo money. And everyone, for the most part, people voted against it in the condo. They were going to overpay too. Like they were willing to like double. So it's basically, you know, people's condos were worth like $550 and they're willing to give them $1 million essentially. So I was surprised that people didn't take it. I was like, oh, for sure they're going to take $1 million. And I remember asking a guy in the elevator, I said, why didn't she take the $1 million? I said, because he goes, and he told me. He goes, I take the $1 million. And he goes, then what? He goes, then I got to go buy and get ripped off for a condo somewhere else in Toronto. He goes, I already got my condo. He raised a good point, right? So I think it's good. You know, people own this shit and then they get old, they can sell it, move into a smaller place. I guess that's the game plan. I think like flipping real estate's good though and shit. I think people that understand that game. I'm not talking about the home reno shit, but man, I was reading just yesterday I saw it's like $60 million for like a plot of dirt in Bel Air, California. Essentially, I don't know. It's like this little half block type, little lot type thing. It was like, yeah, that's 60 million. Fuck. The office buildings, like I said, here in New York, it's a crazy business, but that's what Jared Kushner's into. Like Kushner owns 666 Fifth Avenue. Right? You fill that up. It's like the high end corporate fucking real estate. Like I said, it depends on what where you live, though, K Wolf. What your job is and shit, right? I move around every fucking year or two, so me buying a house like isn't great. But I hear what you're saying. I think all this shit, it's like life itself, right? Everyone's preference is different. 49-42 Golden State. Coach Nick sent me a message. He's got it coming on tomorrow, but betting on college basketball. He's like, don't do that. Nick is repulsed. Like, I'm seeing Coach Nick's tweets. He's like, how the hell is that a charge? He's like, and I see him tweeting the other day about St. Mary's. He's like, why do they keep on fucking feeding this kid? Like, why are they slowing this down? Like, it's like, wow, welcome to college basketball, coach. Like, it can be rough. All right. See, Jazz is saying Overhouse is overrated. See, it's like Odell Beckham. People are all over the place with it. All right, so give me a minute. We'll be back with Babano. Yeah, that's why Cam always has a roommate. Although he's losing Portuguese Joe. Portuguese Joe, speaking of moving to cheaper towns, Portuguese Joe's moving on to Hamilton. Portuguese Joe's like, yeah, I'm getting a place in Hamilton. It's a little expensive here. Hamilton's not a bad town, actually. Like years ago, Hamilton was cheap too. Like, but it's not anymore. It's still cheaper, but it's not, as you guys know. All right, I'll send over a play to the inputter here. Although I don't think I have any money yet, to be honest. Everything's in action here. I'm sort of assuming I'm about to win, but we gotta wait. We gotta win first. Fucking, of course, Illinois, and Northwestern's a stress job. 50-49 now. Close game. Close game. You know what? Another play I didn't take tonight. I actually liked it. I didn't have the balls to do it. Was the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix have been covering recently. You know, some of these bad teams sometimes get hot down at the end. It's like, oh, they're tanking. Phoenix really aren't tanking. Phoenix have the first and second pick every year in the draft, right? So, like, it's like, whatever. We're going to get a good pick anyways. They're already shit, fucked, even if they win a couple of more games. So, and this year in the NBA, it's a different, they slanted it. So, you tank in the NBA, you only have a 1 in 3 chance now. It's like people keep talking about, oh, the Knicks are tanking, or the Bulls, or the whatever, the Suns, and Cleveland. It's like there's no guarantee. You tank, you don't get the first pick automatically. They split it up. It used to be automatic, but the NBA was like, no, teams are tanking too much. So now it's like you have a 1 in 3 chance. So that's the thing with the Knicks. And of course, watch the Knicks' luck, right? Like fucking after all this and all the tanking and everything, they're gonna get the third pick. You can get a good player with the third pick. You want the first 4 picks this year. After the first 4, it's it goes down. Let's bring in the ice guy. Should be his nickname. He actually looks like an ice guy. Look how white he is. What's up, Urbano?
The ice guy, 38 patrons and hopefully counting. So it's been off to a nice start.
Good for you. Good for you. Yeah. It's tough starting mid-season too, right? Like, just jumping in. It's good. It's nice for a reaction, because you have a niche. It's a niche sport thing too, right? You're just doing one sport. Getting 38 people, that's real good. Think like when you guys, you start, I don't know, the Gridiron guys, copyright. I'm keeping that name. Come up with your own name. But
yeah, exactly. Can't steal that one.
You could do like a football one too, or you know what I'm saying? Like after the hockey's over, and hockey's a niche sport, and you're still getting 38 now. And you just started. That's good for you. Impressive, good start. So what's going on, Babano?
No, it is. It's a solid start with that, but we're having fun. We're doing we're gonna take a page from the Sports Rage book actually with the Ice Guys on Patreon, because we're gonna do a free open to the public Ice Guys show next week. One of our shows is going to be, we post the link for free on Twitter. Everybody gets to watch it, get to see what we're all about. Alex, Jimmy, Andrew, and I, what we're doing these days, that we're still doing a show, believe it or not. And if you want to join us, please do. Free show for everybody next Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern, NHL Ice Guys. So that'll be fun. And I'll tell you what about the hockey fan, Gabe. The hockey fan is not the common fan, but the hockey fan, the fan that loves hockey truly, deep down in his soul and his heart and his gut, they really love hockey. The fans that love hockey really love it, even though the majority may not.
No, that's true. I just respect how you've opened up. You turned it into yourself and a plug. And
well, I had to throw that out there because we just decided that today that we're going to do the open to the public Patreon Ice Guys next Tuesday.
The first show, the first few shows.
Yeah, I guess so. But we wanted to get one in there now. Like, playoffs are next month. Great time to get the word out there. Give everybody a show to see, what we're doing
the playoffs. Yeah, it's true. People bet more on the playoffs, right? Too.
There is a big segment of the population out there. They won't watch a second of regular season NHL. It's like me with the NBA. I barely watch. Well, I watch the Raptors every game. Can't say that, but there are people that don't watch a second of regular season hockey, but they're into it. Playoffs from start to finish.
Please, Babano's admitting I don't watch. You don't watch a lot of things, Babano. Dopey baseball playoff games.
No, I do.
Besides the Raptors.
And the national games. I'll watch a good national TV game for NBA too, like TNT or ESPN. Like if it's Warriors and Rockets, like tonight, I'll keep an eye on that.
Babano's the best.
But this week, I'm all calling
this dopey baseball game. We're like, it's the fucking National League Championship Series. He's fucking game 4, Babano.
Yeah, I didn't like betting it because I thought it was tough to bet. But to watch it, yeah, of course, we got to watch it. It's the postseason. Got to watch it or keep an eye on it.
Dodgers and Cubs or something.
But baseball is one of those sports where it's hard to watch every second and every pitch of baseball, especially with the length of games. We've complained about that for years. So, but you got to watch the playoffs. I don't watch it every single second from start to finish. You can't. It's impossible. It just moves a little bit too methodically to just stare at the set for every second of a baseball game, even if it's a playoff game.
You're a CFL guy, NHL, and college basketball. Seems to be the three that you're dialed in, that you like the most.
That's accurate. Any football, I'm into it. You know that with the Alliance. I've been into that from the beginning. College basketball.
Are you watching the Alliance games, or are you just betting them?
No, I am. I'm watching them. They're tough to watch, some of them, with the way the play's been lately. But
they are.
I'll struggle through them.
Last week, actually.
No, there was a great game. San Diego and Salt Lake. What a finish that was, that game.
Fucking all 4 games went over the number last week.
They all did. They all had some points, yep.
All 4 of them.
That's because the totals got down to the high 30s and low 40s. It got too low across the board. And this is just when the offense is.
Yeah, but I was going to say that. I was just going to say it's not that. It's not a case, but I know what you mean. Because you're right, it was nuts. And the totals were 34 and 35. And the highest one was 40. And they were all 35, 34, except for the last game. The hot shot game was 40. And I was like, oh man, it's lower. And I only played a couple of them. I played the last one over. I realized I'm like, yeah, this shit's going over. And I didn't play the Sunday under either. So I did go 0-2 with the totals on Sunday though. On Saturday, Saturday. But it wasn't a case, Babano, where it's like, oh man, only if it was 40, whatever. They went way over, dude. You know what I mean? One of the games, the total was 35. They got to 49. It wasn't like, oh, that was a bad beat. It was like, no, man, it sailed over the number.
Yeah.
All of them pretty much did. The last Sunday night game, if you saw it opened up with a pick 6 on the first play of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
It was right away. And suddenly they're getting the 2s and stuff. I guess it took a little while for the offenses. We're 5 weeks in now.
There are 2 teams that fired and coordinators, offensive coordinators, leave the team right in the middle of the season. That's not going to help continuity either.
And also, if you notice too, teams have adjusted to the better quarterbacks now.
Yep.
Like, you know what I mean? So Christian Hackenberg, for one reason or another, was the quarterback. Zach Meckenberger can move the ball. He's actually good for this league. He's playing well.
Couple of the teams,
Cincinnati. Cincinnati. Atlanta.
Matt Sims, goodbye. Aaron Murray's playing better. Yeah.
Yeah, Aaron Murray's in for Matt Sims, and suddenly they're scoring, right? Like, where we're seeing that. Where we're seeing Arizona give up a lot of points. They can't stop anybody, Arizona. They're pretty good at putting points up and a little desperate coming back. San Diego's offense is tough to stop. I tell you, the Fleet are a tough team, Urbano. They might be the best team in the West. I said this 2 weeks ago that it's a 10-week season, right? It took them a few weeks. They got quarterback problems, but they can run the ball. Like, if you notice, they have like 2-3 good running backs, San Diego, and they're very hard to stop. Like, I've watched all their games recently, and like in their new and improved offense, they pick up first downs, man. Like, they have a good offense. Mike Martz, it's coming together. Mike Martz is a good offensive coach,
Oh, he always has been, and you knew they'd be good on that side of the football, and they have been. But their defense has been impressive. They pulled one out of the fire against Salt Lake. That was maybe the best finish of the season in the Alliance Football League. That Salt Lake game, San Diego, Saturday night, down to the wire, back and forth. Salt Lake gets a touchdown in the final minute. San Diego goes right down the field and kicks the field goal with no time left to win. That was a great game. That was a great finish. Got to give them credit. That was probably the best finish of the season.
Orlando,
excitement-wise.
Orlando. They might not lose a game.
Yeah, they look one.
They might go.
They might go a couple notches better. They look a good couple notches better than every other team in this league.
They do.
Both sides of the ball, especially on offense. Gilbert and Spurrier's letting him throw the ball deep, 40, 50-yard bombs. He's letting him, stretch the field.
He's a mad scientist.
He is. Exactly.
He'll try too. Yep. Like when when he's in the NFL, he ran his offense and he tried some shit, but it wasn't insane. Like, he wasn't like goofy in the NFL when he tried. And, like a lot of other guys with Washington, it didn't work. He wasn't terrible. I think there was 7-9 or something. You're coaching Florida. You're coaching South Carolina. Even though your name is Steve Spurrier, you still can't just do whatever you want. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, you can run a trick play here and then, but it's not like, oh, I did this and I did that. It's not a video game. There's not really any pressure on him here, Urbano. You know what I mean?
No.
Who's going to say, hey, why did you run that double, triple reverse there and the flea flicker at the end of it? So basically, it's like every play that Spurrier's ever wanted to run, he's doing it. And I'm fascinated. It's fun to watch, actually. Like, they had this little fake pitch I tweeted it the other day. I played it on our show even.
Yeah, I saw that.
Exactly. Yeah, I watched
totally different play. You won't see it every day.
They did a head fake pitch to the other side, fucking throws it. Yeah, Salt Lake didn't have a hope in hell, stopping that 2 weeks ago. like the defense just was looking. It was like a pinball. They looked. It was like touchdown, and Spurrier's like, we still got it. We still got it. Like, and Spurrier's mic'd up all the time, and he's fucking funny, man. Like, he called in a play, Urbano. I tweeted this one out too. So he called in a play, and he's like, slash gash 82. He's like, go deep, man. And then he tells the quarterback after he tells Garrett Gilbert, he goes, oh yeah. He goes, tell Bobby to catch it this time, because they ran the play earlier and he dropped it.
That was a great clip. I heard that part.
Yeah, he caught it, and Spurrier says to the assistant, he caught it this time. He caught it this time. And he was all happy, like, he's having fun, and they're hard to stop. Even Garrett Gilbert, you said last week, he's got a cannon, that guy. He's not an NFL quarterback, but he's got a cannon for an arm.
No, but he's doing exactly like he's making these throws that you're going to be able to complete the throws he's making in the Alliance. Can you be consistent in the NFL? Wasn't able to show that at all, but that's why he's in the Alliance. You can be a good Alliance quarterback. You can be a good CFL quarterback. Even though you don't make the NFL, you can be good quarterbacks in other professional leagues.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the thing.
In the CFL,
good quarterback. Yeah.
At this rate, I hate to say it, but he's sort of playing himself into the XFL.
Yeah.
Well, look, Urbano, you make $82,000 a year in the AAF. Starting quarterback's going to make $250 in the XFL. Yeah, it's a better gig in the XFL 250. That's significantly more. It's 3 times more, right?
That's what's going to be enticing for players that aren't in the NFL, Alliance or XFL. The money, mucho dinero you're going to get from Vinnie McMahon is going to be what maybe what entices some of these people.
Yeah, you'll get a guy like, think about a guy like, just say like RG3 or something.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Think of like an NFL guy with Bano that can sort of still play, or like a Tyrod Taylor, let's say, in 2 years, 3 years. You know what I mean?
When he finally burns out from the NFL,
and
he's
like,
Chargers.
You know what? I've made $80 million in the NFL. Fucking, you know, this looks fun. Whatever. I'll play for $250,000. I'm not losing money. You know what I mean? Like, it's enough. Hey, you know, I'll buy a new car out of this. Like fucking, like it's sort of. I'm not saying Tyrod might not be the best example, but sort of, you know what a good example is? Actually, it's like the big 3, dude, in a basketball. There's a lot of NBA guys that have made money that play in that league. The 3-on-3 Ice Cube League.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of NBA guys that play in that league that made money in the NBA. And they're like, whatever, it's fun. I'm making a little money playing in this. It's all good, you know? You know, not everything's for money all the time, right? Some guys will say, you know what, I'll play in the XFL for $250,000. It's, you know, it's enough money for me not to embarrass myself.
Exactly. You're seeing that these little startup leagues now, football for football and basketball. Ice Cube with the big 3. Football's got the Alliance and the XFL now to supplement this NFL. I don't know if you're going to see anything for baseball or hockey in that regard, but those 2 sports in particular, you've seen it. You know, opportunity for players. It's like, you know, Last Chance U, the Netflix show. You know, you get a last chance to prove yourself. It's sort of like what the Alliance football and XFL is going to be for pro football players. It's your last chance to prove yourself that maybe you can get back to the NFL one day.
That coach, Last Chance U, just got fired.
Got fired, exactly, for the Nazi reference.
No last chance for him, but man.
No, you can't bust out the Nazi references and think you can get away with it.
No, that's not good.
No, it isn't. What's not good, too, is Illinois is hanging on by a thread right now against Northwestern. I'm sweating this game out. This is one of my more favorite bets today in the conference tournament.
I got Illinois on the money line.
No, I'm on Illinois, too. That's the side I'm sweating. Yeah.
Okay, good. I actually get this game on TV here. I'm watching the St. John game, though.
It's on Big Ten Network. I got the Johnnies there, -4.5. So go Johnnies. St. John's is a team that I want to ride a little bit in this tournament. If they can beat DePaul, and I know it's not going to be easy because it's St. John's. They don't do anything easy.
Well, they play Marquette tomorrow night if they win.
That is a game they can win. Not just take the points in that game if they advance tonight to play Marquette. They can win that game. Marquette's scuffling, struggling. Marcus Howard's banged up. He's not playing at 100%. They're thinking long-term, I think, now. Let's get healthy. I don't think we can do ourselves much of a favor going it extended in the Big East tournament because they can't really, you know, get a seed that's advantageous to them. They're not in the running for a #1 seed anymore, even maybe a #2 seed with the struggles they've had. So Marquette, I don't think's putting a lot of incentive into the Big East tournament. That's why if St. John's beats DePaul tonight, they still need to, I think, beat a Marquette to cement themselves in the tournament. I think they're on the bubble right now, St. John's. So you beat DePaul tonight, you get your opportunity to play Marquette if you beat DePaul tonight.
They lose tonight.
Your opportunity.
They lose tonight, they're not in.
They're not in. Well, absolutely, they're not in. If they lose to DePaul,
they win tonight. They lose tomorrow. They could be playing in Dayton on Tuesday. You know what I mean? Like that's like the, you know, this. Yeah, it's a big game tomorrow night for them. Like I said, I'm going. I got tickets.
Oh, yeah, that's right. You're going to the Big East games tomorrow. You're going to the night session, though, right? It's the night session.
Yeah. So St. John's and Marquette is the if St. John's wins.
Yeah, that is the night session.
Tomorrow night, if it is Marquette for St. John's. Marquette's actually staying at our hotel at our studio.
Oh yeah, Wojo, James Corden. I like calling Wojo James Corden. Steve Wojciechowski, the Marquette coach, looks like a lot like James Corden.
They have there's like Marquette shit up in the hotel and fucking the team bus. I didn't see anyone. I saw a couple of tall dudes, but I think they were like the former player coaches. I didn't see any like young kids, but one of the chicks told me they were eating breakfast there and shit. So, because I was thinking, oh, maybe we can grab the fucking coach exactly at fucking Marquette if he's in the hallway or something. I saw we had Jay Billis fucking in the hallway the other day, and he agreed to come on, but he only had like 10 minutes, and he couldn't make it work. It was like with where the break was and whatever. It's too bad. It's hit or miss. There's fucking once in a while. There's big people like right out my window there. I'll look up. I'm like, oh fuck, Charles Freewell's standing there.
I actually like Jay Billis, to be honest. He rips the refs if they screw up. That's always funny and entertaining, and it's good to see that once in a while. He's very good, and with his breakdowns and just the ins and outs. He does a good. Him and Dan, that's the best you can get. It's one of the better analysts you could ask for. One of the best play-by-play guys you can ask for. Dan Shulman and him together is a great duo.
I think Roe called me. I think like 6 times today. I swear to God, no one even has my number really here. Is this number and. So I'm like, whatever, I'll fucking call back. So I fucking
is he coming down to the
I
game?
call back. I'm like, who is this? This fucking Roe. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like fucking see all these missed numbers from dude. I was like, all right, this is the fucking address, bro. The thing is, he's been there. It's like it's not rocket science where we're meeting. Right? Tells me like the train number he's on. I'm like, all right, buddy. See you tomorrow.
He's joining you for that those two big East.
Yeah, it was the other night when I was drunk. I said about how I want to go to the Big East games. I said, yeah, I'm going to go to the Big East. And Rose's like, oh, I'll come with you. I said, all right, cool. And a minute later, he's like, oh, I got the tickets. But he got the tickets for Thursday night. Which, listen, it's going to be cool tomorrow. Like, it's pretty cool. Patrick Ewing and fucking.
Oh, there's going to be some juice and energy in that place tomorrow night. You got Georgetown, Seton Hall, of course, New Jersey. You'll get a lot of Pirate fans in the crowd. And then, of course, you got Marquette and St. John's. St. John's may be playing for their NCAA tournament live.
Also,
if they advance tonight, they haven't beaten DePaul yet. Shouldn't jump.
The thing is, Patrick Ewing is a New York Knicks legend, obviously.
Well, that's big time.
It's his first Big East game as well. It's his first Big East tournament game as head coach of the Georgetown Hoyas at Madison Square Garden.
Yes, that's true. Yeah.
So that's a big deal for Georgetown tomorrow. It's a special night, but thing is, I got to do a morning show fucking Friday, and I significantly would have preferred there's actually the semifinal on Friday night. I don't have to do a show Saturday. See, I would have preferred the doubleheader on Friday night, the semifinals,
Yeah.
The finals on Saturday, it's like $73 on StubHub right now for the final. It depends on who plays in it. Like, if St. John's or Seton Hall make it to the final, the tickets it'll go up. If it's fucking Providence versus, Marquette or something, tickets will be $40, right?
Oh, exactly. It's if there's no local flavor involved, look out. You're going to get the old bargain bin on those Big East tournament tickets for that session.
All right. So, what do you think of the Washington State? This kid's shoes are fucking.
Yeah, I guess you're asking me. Well, that's the only game left.
Shoes. I think you're watching this game. I'm not bold enough to wear fucking pink, purple, and yellow shoes, but they actually look cool. They actually look cool with the uniform. But so what do you think? What do you think of the Washington State-Oregon game? I want to pull it. I'm going to play Washington State. My only question is, I'm going to go small, but should I go a little bigger? Or getting 11.5 Babano is a lot of points for the Ducks to try to win by.
Oregon looks like one of those teams that's really played their best down the stretch. They got it together. Dana Altman's team. They're still not this not as good an Oregon team as he's had in the past, but at least they got hot. They've strung some wins together down the stretch. I don't like Ernie Kent much as a coach or Washington State all that much. And I want to back Oregon in this tournament. I think Oregon actually could make a run in this shit show of a tournament that is the Pac-12. But tonight in this game, I don't want to lay that many points with Oregon. I lean Oregon. I think they win. They might cover, but I don't want to lay that many. I'll come back with Oregon tomorrow in this. I don't want Washington State at all. I don't think they're any good. I think they had a bad season. They're not great defensively.
Well, we know they're not any good. I know that.
See, I did bet an ugly dog earlier, Cal. I took Cal against Colorado. They didn't win, but they did cover. But they were a double-digit dog in this range, and they found a way to slip inside the number. That's my concern. I mean, Oregon is just win the game. You don't have to win it by this kind of margin. So I'd lean Oregon still, but not laying these kind of points.
I know what you mean, though. Like Oregon.
I do think they're a good bet if they win. Yeah, I think if they win tonight, you can back them tomorrow because they might go on a run.
And they played better. Like you said, one of these teams could go on a nice little run by St. John's right now. They're up 53-42.
Yep, good. Like seeing that. Tie game here with Northwestern Illinois with 2 minutes left. Wow. Down to the wire here.
Oh, shit, 58-58, yeah. Let me turn that. This Big Ten Network. What channel's the Big Ten Network? Oh, it's 248.
It's way up there, yeah.
240.
I'll tell you what, this is impressive. But Northwestern's been awful down the stretch, and they're without Vic Law, who is like their second best player today for this game. He's a late absence, and here they are, still have a chance to win this game.
Well, they're both terrible teams, right? Like,
no, Illinois, but Illinois at least has beaten some decent teams.
Yeah, no, that's why I took them.
State. Yeah, they beat Michigan State.
No, Illinois are a good young. They're not. I'm saying they're a young team. They have good team enthusiasm. Like you said, Northwestern are 1-9 in their last 10 games. Like,
they almost beat Wisconsin in Wisconsin. I remember that was a close game.
These guys are battling though right now, 58-58.
Oh, it is an ugly game. Ugly on offense. Yeah, Illinois is one of those teams. Their offense doesn't work unless they get it off turnovers and transition. They're a terrible half-court offense, Illinois. They've got to run and generate their points in transition basketball off turnovers, or else they're not scoring.
I just want to answer. So Paco Healy asked the question, what do you guys think about the totals this week in the AAF? No numbers yet. I haven't seen any numbers.
I've been so swamped with hoops, I haven't even checked the
they used to come out every Wednesday, but I've noticed the last 2 weeks they're coming out on Thursdays. Sort of, they're waiting a bit more. Let me see who's playing this week. But so
I haven't seen any yet. I bet 365.
Memphis at Salt Lake probably goes over.
Memphis.
Oh, Arizona, Orlando. Here's one. There'll be some points. I think they continue to open up here. I think the offenses are starting to catch up. San Antonio and Atlanta, there should be some points. And Birmingham, San Diego, like suddenly I think the script is flipped where we go over the numbers suddenly.
Yep. No, there's definitely some overs now that you're going to be able to cash in on because of, just how low scoring it was. And they over adjusted the totals.
Well, look, they got to 54
last week,
52, 45, and 43. So lowest scoring game last week's 43. So. And the totals aren't going to be that high this week. I imagine this week they'll pop back up to the 40s. You know what I mean? 42, 41 and a half. I think that's the range we'll look at this week.
Yep. Northwestern's in the lead now, which they just go into the line shooting 2. So Sweat City.
Well, we're screwed. Fuck. 59-58, 128 left.
Here's another team I was open. Win tonight against a depleted Northwestern team.
Oh, fuck me.
And they got the rebound, too, off the missed free throw. Wow.
Yeah. Can you believe that?
This is a big defensive
possession.
That's
what happened. The free throw was so bad that it clanked so hard it bounced all the way back.
Yeah.
I don't know if teams should try that, actually. I don't know. That's a good point.
Yep.
When teams intentionally try to miss free throws at the end, it never works out well. What this kid did actually worked, and he didn't try to do it. His shot was so bad it fucking clapped.
Yeah, it was. It's hard to blame Illinois. How are you going to be in position when you have no clue that the basketball is going to end up off the rim coming in that direction?
I should probably try to perfect that shot. Yeah. But it'd be hard for them to do it. It was just such an awkwardly bad shot the kid took for the free throw. All right, come on, Illinois. Take it a rack. How's that not a foul? Yes.
And one. There you go. What a play. Yeah.
All right, good play.
See, this is why when the line is fiddly fooling around -1.5, -2, I just took money line. I don't have to worry. Just win the game for Illinois is all I'm asking here. Because I took money line -130. I'm not screwing around with -1.5, -2, which is where the number was for this game.
No, I got the money line as well.
Especially in a tournament setting. Any favorite that's like 2, 2.5 or less, I'm going to take the money line. I just feel a little safer that way.
All right, so timeout Northwestern, 35 seconds left, 61-59.
Good finishes, but bad games, these two. Rutgers, Nebraska was a good finish too, but it was a bad game. You got to differentiate the two. It can have a pretty exciting finish, but it could still be a finish to a bad game. That's what this is.
St. John's up 55-46, 13 minutes left. We got the over as well as St. John's to close out the parlay. 156.5 is the in game right now. So it's pretty much right on pace. Oh, fuck. Last night, too, Jazz fucking knows. Made a mistake last night. Put more than I wanted on a game by accident. He put the play in for me. It was my fault. And then I ended up losing. I don't know if you saw it, Jazz. We ended up losing by 2 points. I needed like 132 points in the second half of an NBA game last night for Pano to go over the number. Like, I gave up on it, right? And they scored 130, bro.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
They scored 74 points in the third quarter. I'm like, I can't believe this. Fuck, I'm right back in the total here. I'm like, I'm right back in it. And I'm like, maybe my accidental bet's going to pay off. And, oh, God. Fuck. The last 2 minutes, man, of garbage time. It was.
You thought you were going to get away with the mistake. Exactly.
Yeah.
A little early Christmas kid for Gabe.
You know?
No, not
Northwestern. Oh, fuck off. These fucking refs are calling everything now. Now Northwestern going to the line, 61-59. They could try to tie it here. Well, we'll see if he hits them both. Either way, Illinois will get the ball back with 17 seconds.
And a chance. The problem is their center, who's been awesome tonight, is fouled out. Bazanishvili. He's a good player. I mean, I think he's only a freshman or sophomore, too. So he's going to be back with Brad Underwood in this team next year. He's going to probably be even better by then.
Yeah, it's not my concern right now.
It is now if this game goes to overtime. Without him, wow. It's going to be a void now in that paint area. Got to go into your bench here if you're Illinois.
That's going to be a fucking sweatshop. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I can't believe I'm fucking stupid enough to fucking take fucking Houston Rockets. I got them on the money, and I'm hoping they can go on a little run. They're only down 6 or 7 or something. But
it's just fair. You have your struggles with Houston games, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah,
I don't know why I do this. Like, I'm a fucking moron. But they've won 9 games in a row. Of course, I'll be the one to break their streak. Like, you'll see. No. It's crazy. Like,
you know how many times I've tried believing in that fucking franchise in the playoffs, and every year it's just they disappoint me. That's why I'm not doing it again this year.
They had them on the ropes. They had them on the ropes last year. They really did.
Yeah.
They really did. They lost in 7 to the Warriors. I mean, they had them. All right, tie game. Fuck off. 17 seconds left.
Here we go. If it goes to overtime, I'm worried for Illinois because, again,
don't call timeout. Just let the kid play here. All right, here we go. Oh, they call timeout.
Yeah, set up a play. Why not?
Oh, God. The coach is overcoached, bro. You watch. You're going to set up a play. You're going to pass it around. You're going to get some stupid bad shot off with, like, fucking no – you know what I mean?
Well, this is Underwood. This is not Mike White, Florida, like what happened to you last week. So I have a little more faith and confidence. We get a nice play drawn up.
Why? They're a 12-22 team.
Well, that's the thing. The coach – yeah. Can they execute it?
You have confidence in, like, this – it's like you're hyping up Illinois like they're not even Maryland, bro. Like you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, me, I don't like that. I don't like these. I guess this is why they justify them getting paid. But like you said, that Florida kids made a nice defensive play. The crowd was going crazy. They were on a fast break, and he called a timeout. It's like, and then for what? So you can stumble around out of it after? Like, just let the kids play. You recruited the kids. Let them play. You know what I mean? Let them play. But I get it here with Illinois. It's a little different. There's 14 and a half seconds left, and they want to get it right. And they're not a great team, so I get it. But if you have good athletes, like, you don't see NBA teams fucking, call timeout, and I want to coach. Like, you know, if sometimes, you know, in desperation. But, all right, so anyways. Indiana, Ohio State in the morning. Have you looked at tomorrow's games? There's a million games tomorrow. So have you looked at the board yet tomorrow?
Yeah, there is. There's a ton of games.
Kansas. I haven't seen the Georgetown Seton Hall, but man, there's a line. Yeah, so Seton Hall is 2.5-point favorites, total 151 tomorrow night.
Georgetown is another bubble team. I won't bet against them, especially as an underdog. Pat Ewing and the Georgetown team's been excellent in the underdog role, winning record ATS as a dog. But Seton Hall's red hot. Seton Hall, you know, great job. Seton Hall beat some good teams. Villanova, Marquette back-to-back. Here we go, 5 seconds.
Oh, he's going to score.
Oh, blocked.
Oh, they don't call the foul. I don't mind the play. I don't mind the play. They gave it to their best player. He took it to the rack. Like, that's not a bad play. And there's only 1 second left. They actually did. That was a good play call. Yep. I thought he was going to score. The kid had a lane for a second. He's a little short. Nice play by Northwestern, but I think we have a chance for a pick and pop here with 1.2 left if we get the ball back.
There's still time.
Let's see.
Yeah, that's a clean block. Good. Oh, the review on whose possession it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It should be Illinois' ball, I think. But if you look, there's a little contact when he goes up, you see. But even though I got money on Illinois, you can't call that. Like, I'd be mad if they call. Like, they have to be a bitch call. Like, let the kids play. Guy went up, nice block.
That is a block.
So what? Yeah,
that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous if there was a foul there. It was a clean block right on the raw ball there.
No, but I'm not talking about the block. I'm talking about the shot block. But
the possession.
The black dude, the white guy blocked the shot.
Yep.
The black guy bumped into him a bit. He gave him a little bump when he came in under the paint, but I'm saying, yeah, good call, good non-call.
That is. You gotta. That's too ticky-tack for giving the score.
Yeah, the game's tied. But dude, the other night in a college game, I got screwed. And so did other people. They called the most stupidest foul with 2 seconds left and decided the game. And the team lost because of it. I
remember that.
Yeah, it was bad. It was a tie. I forget. It was a big game. It was a tie game. No, it was an NBA game, man.
That happened in NC State Clemson earlier today too. NC State.
I didn't see what happened in that game, but I know everyone's freaking out about it.
Devils up 4-2. El Diablo, unbelievable. They should have beat Calgary last night too, except they melted down in the third period. They got a ton of injuries. They're battling at least. Good for them.
Yeah, so look at the total, 151.5 tomorrow in this Georgetown game. Seton Hall is 4-1 of the under in their last 5 games.
Anyway, Seton Hall, what I was going to say about Seton Hall is they're not only are they playing great, they are in the tournament now. I mean, Georgetown needs this game more, but Seton Hall lost to Georgetown in overtime.
They're both in the same boat, dude. Georgetown's 19-12. Seton Hall's 18-12.
But Seton Hall's got some big wins on their resume down the stretch, Marquette and Villanova.
The Marquette wins looking less and less. Everyone's beating Marquette recently.
The Villanova one, I thought for sure got them.
Seton Hall's they're probably in, but they're not. There ain't no guarantee for them either. You know?
And they lost, but again, they lost to Georgetown, and Kevin Willard's a good Big East tournament coach. He's done very good at this Big East tournament in recent seasons. So it's a tough game sidewise. I can make good cases for. I'd rather bet on both of these teams than bet against them.
They split. Yeah, it's a tough game. Like Georgetown and Seton, like you said, Seton Hall are erratic too. They're like St. John. Like Seton Hall can beat anybody. Not anybody, but you know what I mean. Like they can show up and win this fucking Big East tournament, or they can get bounced tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a weird, it's tough to predict.
If this game goes to overtime, I'm putting a little Northwestern bet in because I'm hedging a little. With this center out for Illinois, that bothers me a little
I actually think Georgetown will beat them in battle.
Yeah, I would lean Georgetown. They need this one. Like if Seton Hall loses this game, they probably are still making the tournament, or at least have a pretty good chance to.
I don't know.
Georgetown is not making it without this win. Yeah, they'd have no marquee wins in the conference. Georgetown. That's why.
The winner could be playing for a spot in,
I honestly think Seton Hall's already in, unless there's going to be some more bid thieves like St. Mary's last night. Who's the other teams, and what are the other conferences that can steal a bid from one of the bubble teams? The MAC could be a conference because Buffalo is getting an at-large. If someone other than Buffalo wins the MAC conference tournament, that's another bubble team that's going to get ousted by someone that steals a bid. And A10 comes to mind, too, as another conference where there could be a bid stealer. I think VCU and Davidson and Dayton are at-large teams that are going to make it. But if someone other than those 3 wins the A10, there's another bubble team that's going to lose a spot.
Yeah, and we see historically the committee, because it's all big schools, the committee they'd rather put in an Indiana or a Clemson or the mid-majors get screwed more often than not when it comes to this stuff.
Yep.
Let's see. I wanted to see what Jerry Palm's up to. Here we go.
Wow. What an inbounds play. They got the look they wanted, couldn't finish, but we're going to overtime.
Oh,
wow. It was a great, great look.
I hate losing in overtime. Fuck.
I swear, every time I have the underdog, they lose in overtime. I finally got the favorite now as we go to overtime.
We can't catch a break. I know. Let's just win the stupid game. You know we're not going to win here. I hate to be negative. We'll win. We got to be positive.
Exactly. Positive thinking. Yeah.
We got to be positive. All right. So what else? What are you looking at tomorrow? Then what else are you looking at? What games?
I'll tell you right now. We have a lot of the games I'm interested in. I don't have lines yet, but St. John's I like. I will be on St. John's against Marquette if they beat DePaul. 100%. That's a play. They need the win. They can get hot. They're a good basketball team. They've underachieved at times during the Big East Conference season. I like the inside-outside balance. Mustafa Heron, Shamari Pons. Mullen bothers me sometimes. I think he overcoaches or doesn't, do things correctly at times. But, I think St. John's talent-wise can make a run in this tournament. They have to if they're going to get in the tournament. And Marquette's struggling right now. Let's be honest. They're playing their worst basketball right now, and Marcus Howard is not at 100%, and he's the guy that carries Marquette. So I think St. John's is live there. I'd really like to back Providence, too, against Villanova. Providence and Ed Cooley is a good Big East tournament team. This team, Providence, in years past, they've been good ATS bet in the Big East tournament. I cashed with them tonight. They pounded Butler in the first Big East tournament game tonight. I look to come back on Providence tomorrow, too. I know it's Villanova, but, they'll be laying a decent amount of points. They're safe. Providence is not. Providence is a feisty underdog. They just got one of their freshman guards back, too. He's a really, really good player. He came back from injury 2 games ago. It's made a difference. Providence, too, is one I'll be looking at in the Big East. So Providence, St. John's, see what else we got here in terms of games tomorrow. Let's see if of interest. NC State, Virginia. Can NC State hang? Because NC State almost beat Virginia when they met during the regular season. They almost did. It was in NC State, but the game went right down to the wire. And NC State led for a good part of that game. And NC State's another one of those teams where, they're right on the bubble. You're going to get max effort from NC State. It's a noon game. Yeah, Virginia's not going to be easy, but 3-pointer for Northwestern to start overtime. I don't know. They can't defend the 3 tonight, Illinois. But NC State's kind of interesting there. Yeah.
Fucking frustrating. Fuck. Yeah, NC, that's the game's at 12:30 tomorrow. Virginia laying 11 points. Virginia, what happened when they played each other earlier this year?
It was close. Like I say, down to the wire.
65. Yeah, so they played once. I thought it was twice. Sorry, my bad. Yeah.
And Kevin Keats is another guy that knows how to get his teams ready at conference tournament time. NC Wilmington, when he was there, they'd always win that Colonial tournament. They made the NCAA tournament there by winning their conference tournament when he coached there.
They're just erratic, though, NC State. Fuck,
Unbelievable. Fouled a 3-point shooter now.
Are you kidding me? Just like that? So we're down 3, and now we're sending them to the line?
Well, they did just score. They're down 1 right now, but they just fell on a 3.
I have to watch the NBA now. Fuck off. Fuck, man. Fuck. Fucking Illinois, man. This fucking team. The fuck are they useless, that fucking university.
Football and basketball. Basketball, yeah.
Oh, fuck.
Basketball hasn't been good since our old friend Bruce Weber was there, yeah.
So fucking bad. Even Lori Loughlin's daughter doesn't want to go there. Fuck. Fucking motherfuckers. Well, Iowa State and Baylor. Fuck. I don't like Baylor. I almost want to blindly bet on Iowa State here. Baylor blow.
Baylor, I will not back. He missed the second at least, but Makai Mason is the key for their Baylor. If he doesn't play, I don't want Baylor. He's that important. He's been the straw that stirs the drink offensively for them. They've lost one of their guards earlier this season.
They've lost 3 straight games. They've lost just fucking 6 of their last 10. Baylor are chokers, dude. The only thing is, this isn't a good Iowa State team.
They did not play well down the stretch. How the hell do you get blown out at home by West Virginia? Like what happened to them down the stretch? That's a concern. There's red flags with Iowa State right now, too. It's not like I'm rushing to back them right now either. So that's a tricky one. terrible defensively they were down the stretch too, just getting shredded by teams that aren't even great offensively, like West Virginia, like I just said. Just ripped them apart.
Oh, Texas and Kansas tomorrow. That one I'm interested in.
Oregon State, Colorado. I like Oregon State there. Colorado had to hang on for dear life to beat Cal today. Now you got to come back, and they had to extend themselves because they had to hang on to a lead in that game. They weren't very crisp. They're lucky Cal couldn't make any open looks, or else they could have actually lost that game, Colorado Buffaloes. And Oregon State's having a nice year. You know, Wayne Tinkle, his son Trey's Tinkle, Stephen Thompson, two really good players on that Beavers team having a good season. They're the second team in the conference this year behind Washington in the standings. So I think Pick'em is good price there on Oregon State.
Babano. All right, Babano, we'll wrap it up in a minute or two. I'm beaten down tonight. It's been a long week, long fucking day. I don't know if you can see. Look at my eyes.
I know. I hear you. You've been working with your fingers to the bone here, nose to the grindstone here. But yeah, if you think it's been busy now, wait till today. Tomorrow and Friday are the two busiest days of this whole conference tournament week.
Yeah.
Thursday and Friday, it's like your brain's going to explode from all the games that are going on and all the bets you're placing. Day and night, wall to wall, noon to midnight. Tomorrow and Friday.
I do the morning show. I'm up at night. It's like I don't get as much chance to just sort of sit here and
way short
and just cap. But
Illinois ball up 2 with 2
Friday. Friday, I'll get an opportunity to actually. So I got to go to the book tomorrow, and tomorrow's another hectic fucking day. Friday will be a little chiller, but Klay Thompson for 3. Fuck me, fucking Golden State.
Huge 3 out of the corner by Trent Frazier for Illinois. Wow, 71-66 Illini. 2 minutes left. Now can they hang on? We know that's lots of time. It's not even close to over yet. But they've swung it around. 8-0 run. Defend that 3. Jeez, that fucking guy can't miss. That, what is it? Falzon, yeah. Back down to a 2-point game.
That's what happens. These fucking kids, they know this could be their last game of the year, last game of their career. You know
it's been a good overtime. I'll say that right now. Both of the teams, they're not great teams, but they're trying.
Oh yeah, like I said, it's these kids fucking care less about their records than we think they do. Right.
I don't like this possession. Too stagnant for Illinois. Too stagnant. You got to rush.
There it is.
Beautiful move. There you go. 4-point lead. 1 minute left. Not over yet. Not even close. That's why I used to think that when I was younger, like 4-point lead with a minute to go was like safe. No, it ain't.
No, this next shot is pretty much it.
This is big. Yep. Big possession here.
See.
Kick out. Wide open 3. Missed. Short, got the rebound. Yep.
Oh, here's another 3.
3 is the same guy. He missed finally. What a time to finally miss.
Now they should win.
That Falzon was making everything for Northwestern in the second half and overtime till that point, and finally missed one, and it came at the worst time.
That's a case there where Northwestern, it's bad basketball. The down 4, they weren't
3. You don't need the 3.
They didn't desperately need the 3. They could have just. The thing is, the kid, they could have laid it in twice and they kicked it back out. Like, guys, like, just take the damn 2, fucking foul. But for all we know, the coach told them take the 3. I mean, but still, there's 30 seconds left. They should have taken the 2 there, but that's why we bet against them, because of bad decisions. See,
well, it's not just that, but they were struggling.
Where people say, "Oh, fucking Northwestern kids are smart." They always hear that about Stanford players. Oh, Stanford, they're really smart. They're smarter than everyone else. Like, they still do stupid things. They might be smart in the classroom, but it doesn't mean they're not going to take a penalty, or like, that wasn't smart what the kids just did. I'm sure that kid's great in class, but all right, we got it.
Do we? Nope. Get that rebound.
No.
5-point lead though. Up. Desperation 3. No good. There you go. Dribble it out.
There you go.
There you go. That
Up by 5.
Let's not put it in the win column yet, but it's looking promising.
That's pretty much it. All right, that's a good one.
I swear I've done this and seen this shit long enough to know I don't ever say something's over till it's finally over. Yeah. So, but it is looking good now. I will say that. And St. John's are looking good. How about that? Pour it on there. 74-57. St. John's up by 17. 5:40 to go.
Yeah.
Looking like St. John's Marquette tomorrow night at the Garden, and I'll be on St. John's plus the points. Money line, folks. Money line underdog. If you like money line underdogs, St. John's against Marquette can win that game. Marquette's struggling. Their best players banged up. St. John's needs this game like a human being needs oxygen. If they hope to make the tournament, it's all aligning, and they're going to have the home support there at MSG.
They're not going to be getting much, though. It's going to be like plus 2.5.
No, it's not going to be a huge dog price, but, you know,
2.5.
The game. Yep.
Plus 125, maybe. You know what I mean?
Yep. Wow, he missed both free throws, but didn't matter in the end.
Game's over. Illinois wins. Winner.
Poor Chris Collins. That's why Doug Collins, they showed him in the crowd. I keep forgetting Chris, his son, and Chris, of course, coaches Northwestern. Yep. Doug Collins looked way more stressed than Chris Collins. That's hilarious. It was when they showed him in the crowd watching.
Yeah, Doug gets into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he gets into it.
Speaking of broadcasters or guys that used to broadcast in the NBA, I saw that you had Mike Breen on the show this morning. Is that true?
Yeah.
Good stuff. Puts it in. He always loves saying that for a big three. Bang! Bang and puts it in.
That's a good impression. He's
James for three. Puts it in. LeBron James. Bang!
Yeah, he does. He's the biggest NBA guy out there now, right?
Oh, yeah, he's good. I like him. I've always liked Breen.
He's done. Yeah, he's great. Fuck. He used to do the Knicks. He still does the Knicks on TV, but he used to do the Knicks on the radio. And like for years, I used to listen on like the radio days, like pre-internet and shit. And then he got plucked. He sort of went national. He's doing a game now, the Oakland game, or the Golden State game in Houston, in which Golden State Warriors flexing their muscles without Kevin Durant, up by 13 points. I just can't win a fucking a Rocket game. It's comically bad. Like
somehow, some way, this team's gonna fuck it up in the playoffs. I swear. There's no way I'm trusting them to do shit for me again. The Houston Rockets. I did it 2 years ago. I did it last year. Now I know they've been close. I know they had some tough breaks along the way, but they didn't get the job done, and they didn't get to the finals, which I thought they could have in both years. Why should I think it's going to be different this time? Why?
Well, yeah, this game doesn't mean the playoffs, but this was a statement game, and yeah, it's the Warriors. Every time you think, oh, the Warriors are a little vulnerable. Look, the Warriors haven't won back-to-back games. They haven't won back-to-back games since in 1 month, February 12th. Hard to believe. And, you know, should have known they were going to respond coming off that loss against Phoenix the other night. But look at Houston's won 9 in a row. Fuck, it's unbelievable how they fucked me, man.
So it's really, truly, really remarkable after, you know, that this is happening with you and this team.
Yeah,
but Gabe, it's whether you're betting on them or you're betting against them,
or
it doesn't matter, or over under, right?
Or a prop.
You're telling me you're telling me this fucking voodoo bad luck with Houston extends to the totals too?
Oh yeah.
Oh my.
Totals too and props.
Wow.
It's same thing too. I don't know if you know. I can't win NHL shootout either. Like it's worse. It's the same thing. Last week on this show, I lost 3 shootouts in a row, bro, live on the air. Right then the show, I was like, I'm done. Fucking 3 in a row I lost. 3 in a row in one night.
That's unbelievable. That's really, no one deserves that kind of pain and torture. And
Kyle Hamburg, I think Kyle Hamburg's up to 9 straight Oklahoma City bets he's lost. And like I actually just bet it now.
I lost in Oklahoma City.
I should be, you know, it's like a broken clock, right? Twice a day. It's a 50-50 chance. But no, It's like, it really isn't, man. Like, people should just fade my Houston picks because it's true. I'm 100%. I'm like 95%. Like, fade me and you'll win 95% of the time. It's crazy.
That's remarkable. I know I lost an Oklahoma City bet tonight because I took Brooklyn, but I think a lot of people like Brooklyn tonight and did not have a good second half. Great first half. Should have had Brooklyn first half.
Yeah, that was a trap. I fell for it too.
I know Brooklyn getting that many points, everybody just salivated at the
it's too obvious. Yeah.
But they've been so good under that coach there, Anderson. They've been so good in the underdog role. He's been a great underdog coach. The team's been a great underdog team.
Oh, you're talking about Brooklyn. Who are you talking about? I'm talking about the Brooklyn. You talking about who?
The Nets.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean Atkinson. Sorry. Yeah, you said Atkinson. Yeah.
Anderson, Atkinson, Kenny Atkinson. Yeah.
Yeah. Kenny Atkinson. Yeah, that's the thing with the Nets. Fuck, they're pretty much, especially, dude. I've taken them like a lot. I almost take them. I've been very good too, where I back off on them. You don't want to lay big points with the Nets, but when you're getting points, the thing is, the Nets aren't a great road team, and they can beat like bad teams on the road. You know what I mean? But they did this. I don't know what game it was. I think it was against the Spurs. Earlier. I remember I took them on the road another time. It was the same thing. They sort of looked good and hung around for 3 quarters, and the bad shot selection adds up. And they're better at home. They're better. The Nets have feasted Babano and made their record off of beating bad teams. They really have. Like, that's their thing. But yeah, it was frustrating. It's just one of those bets where you just sort of know, like, yeah, it's a bad bet.
I'm just looking at the scores, and before we wrap up this show and this segment, I got to mention the Marshall Thundering Herd. I mean, sure, you remember they were in the tournament last year. They won the Conference USA tournament. They sort of had an up and down conference season this year.
I don't remember them there last year. I'm not saying they weren't there, but I don't remember.
Yeah, Marshall. They had John Elmore, the guard, and he's back this year. They've got a couple other really good scorers as well. Dan D'Antoni, Mike's brother, coaching them. They play super fast. They're crushing Rice in their first round tournament game in Conference USA right now. It's 74-44. They're up by 30. You got to think the starters are going to get a ton of rest because they're going to have to play tomorrow. Here's a team that is playing in the first round that is a team that probably could win this tournament if they get hot because they got that capability. They're a team that obviously they had an up and down conference season. That's why they're playing a first round game in their tournament. But look out for them. I would back Marshall tomorrow. We'll see who they're playing, but I'll be looking to back Marshall. I think they play either Western Kentucky or Southern Miss tomorrow is who they'd be up against. I think Western Kentucky. They'll be worth a look in that game, Marshall. Absolutely, because I think they're a team that can go a long way. Underachieved during the season. Big win tonight. Starters are going to be rested. Take them off the floor. That's going to leave them with extra energy for a back-to-back tomorrow. And it's a weird venue, the Conference USA. They're doing there's like this barrier between 2 courts in the same building, and they're doing 2 games at the same time on 2 different courts. It's the weirdest thing.
Oh,
they're
really?
doing that with Conference USA tournament.
That's
so
cool.
Apparently it makes for a bad and awkward backdrop for shooting. So Western Kentucky is going to be playing their first game of this tournament with this awkward backdrop. Marshall's used to it with a game under their belt already, a team that underachieved, that's kicking the snot out of Rice, that I think could go on a run. Marshall's going to be not getting a ton of points. I think they'll be getting like 4.5, 5.
Under in the venues today?
I believe it's a good under venue, and I think it's been playing out
today, though.
Let me see. Middle Tennessee State, 70-61, under. Florida Atlantic, Louisiana Tech, 57-56, under. North Texas, Florida International is staying under. Marshall Rice, 74-44. That game is going to stay under because the total was 163. They're only at 118 with 6 minutes left. That's going to stay under. So 4-0 to the under. That Conference USA tournament, I'm telling you, watch out for that. Weird sight lines. Weird backdrop, and it's leading to some unders there. 4-0 to the under in that venue today with the CUSA.
Yeah, you know what? The other one, too, we had Ralph Michaels on today. He brought up the players were having a hard time at the Barclays Center today, a venue that they never play at. You know, some of these arenas, like St. John's and these kids in the Big East, they play at MSG, a few times a year.
Same with Barclays Center, where the A10 tournament is. That's not big time sight lines. That won't be affect shooters.
No, they fucking dude. It was like fucking 52-50 or something today in one of these games.
Ralph Barclays
talking about the Barclays Center is a weird arena, but by now, like it's.
I'm starting to look at the scores, and I'm starting to look 68-64 in an overtime game with UMass and George Washington.
Yeah.
52-50, Richmond and Fordham. It's not even close to the over in either game. Yeah. Jeez. Maybe it is an under venue. Yeah.
Well, they don't play there.
Yep.
That's the thing. It's not like, you know what I mean? Like if it's, you know, the one you're talking about, that's unique.
That's really unique.
Not fuck the kids up, dude. A lot of tournaments are like the NBA Summer League's like that. The NBA Summer League split, and there's a bunch of games going on at the Thomas and Mack Center. There's like a building connected, and they have multiple courts, and like, so you know that's sort of whatever, but it's just what's different to them. So yeah, I'm intrigued by what you said. I didn't know that, so I'm glad you brought that up at the Conference USA. I'll take a look at that.
Yeah, it is. It's fascinating, and I saw pictures of the setup. It's like this big, huge barrier set up with one court on the one side and the other basketball court on the other side of it. And it's like this big, like if Donald Trump wants his wall so badly, why don't you take a flight to the Conference USA tournament, take this big wall barrier thing that's there, and you can take that with you and get the wall you want. So there you go. You can get what you want doing that. But yeah, it's a huge wall barrier between the two courts. And that's why they'd have trouble shooting, because they're looking at the basket and there's this big, huge wall type barrier between the courts that they got to look at in the background while they're shooting the basketball. That would be causing you some distress as a shooter.
It's weird though. Like the kids are better at shooting in this shit. You notice, like even in the stadiums now, in the Final Fours and stuff.
Yep.
The kids are draining shots and stuff. Like you can get burnt. It's sort of erratic. Fuck this shit, you know. One thing though, it's funny. Last Saturday, I won with the Kings and the Knicks, the first quarter under, because it started at noon Eastern, and it was sort of like the football. I was thinking, wow, man, like early start. It's 9 in the morning for Sacramento. Plus, I was like, no one likes playing at fucking noon. The Knicks won't like it either. It'll be a slow start in the morning. And it was. And lo and behold, like that's why I like reading the quotes. Like lo and behold, after the game, I read Sacramento saying it. They said that it took us a quarter and a half to wake up. It was a weird vibe. It's the morning. The shots weren't falling. And then he said, Aaron Fox said, he goes, once the shots started falling midway through the second quarter, it was normal. But he said it was hard to get going early in the game. And so at least like sort of my theory was right. It was nice to hear the player admit it even after, right? Like, sorry, it was tailor-made, Babano, a fucking Saturday morning noon game against the dreadful Knicks. Kings coming in here, first game on the road trip. It was a weird spot for everyone. And it was low. It nearly got there. The total was 58. It got to 53. It stayed under by 5, but the game stayed under. Like it even slowed down more after. Fuck.
Yeah, that's why. That's the thing. And when the NCAA tournament, starts up next week, you want to be aware of the venue of every game and every round. Because there's going to be some where it's cavernous and it's going to affect sight lines and shooting. It will.
And the start time of the games, right? You want to know, all right, this team's from this fucking, from this time zone, they have to play here. You're right. Take a look and see, guys, is it a college gym? Or is it an NBA arena? What are they playing in? You know what I mean?
How close is the proximity of the venue to
the college gym?
The teams? Yep.
The rims are kinder.
Yep.
Another thing like where the Brooklyn, the A10 ship, they don't change the rims. Fuck. The rims are the rims. The rims are the rims. And NBA rims aren't as friendly as college rims. Like some of these college rims are pretty friendly because the kids can't shoot. Fuck. So like these kids fucking could be like freaked out by like, fuck, I'm not getting a bounce. They're different too. Like, and like you said too, proximity. If you blindly bet proximity, you probably wouldn't be up a couple of units, but it does matter. It's teams that are closer mileage seem to They win more than they lose.
Exactly. Shorter travel, more of your fans show up to the games to support you. It gives you a little bit of an energy boost as well when you play these games. So that's all stuff. There's like 10 different things I factor into these NCAA. Anybody has to factor into these NCAA tournament games, and that's the science of it. You just got to meld them all together and use all of them combined. There's not really one factor that's significantly greater than the other. It's just you got to put them all together and come up with a combination. Okay, this team's got a few more factors on their side in their favor than the other team, and you go with that.
Well, really, the only thing you know about March Madness, we talked about it last week, was with you, I think, was that Cinderellas don't win. It's the same teams that win all the time. So everyone, dark horse this, dark horse that. It's like, yeah, dark horse maybe to get to the Elite Eight, maybe to the Final Four, etc. But ultimately, you're picking between Kentucky, Michigan State, Virginia, North Carolina, Duke. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be only about 5 or 6 teams in the end that can really win this.
Mm-hmm. St. John's going to get it done. 81. Now your total might get there still. It's at 150 with 50 seconds left.
Oh, God.
Wow, here we go. Right down to the wire with the total. The spread's going to be St. John's, but totals time now is right down to the last few seconds here. What is it, 150? What did you get on it?
154.5.
All right, well, you need 5 points in 50 seconds. It's possible.
Yeah, sort of be right. It's possible.
2 possessions, a 3 and a 2. You got to think positive.
It all depends on. But what's the score you said?
81-69. St. John's up by 12. They won't be fouling. That's the only issue.
Maybe they will. You never know, but probably not.
No, probably not. But Syracuse Duke. We didn't talk that. Syracuse, I'm interested in. We'll see where the line comes. Syracuse just gives Duke. Yeah, Syracuse just gives Duke.
Is that the game that you guys all fucking bet on?
We lost that time, the Carrier Dome.
Oh, it's over. 82-74, 156, winner.
There you go. You got there.
All right, so not bad. We hit Illinois. We hit this. We hit the money line parlay. We only lose the Houston Rockets and we lose the Brooklyn Nets, but still we had more money on the parlay. So good. Not a bad night. Both. Good night. Not a bad night. Plus, anytime you have a plus unit, I guess you can't complain, right?
No, absolutely. And St. John's cashes for me. St. John's tonight cashes, and I think they're going to cash for me again tomorrow. I'm telling you, I love that tomorrow. St. John's at Marquette. That's already lining up like it could be my favorite bet tomorrow.
I think it'll go over, too. So give me a minute, Urbano, since you're talking anyways. I got to step for a second. Instead of leaving people alone, you can talk about more of these games. But I got to wrap it up when I get back in a few minutes here.
Yeah, I'll log off when you get back, and we'll call it a show. Creighton Xavier. We got Creighton laying 2.5, 3. Total 140.5 to 142 in that game. Maybe Creighton gets it done. Creighton, to me, is, I think, more talent than Xavier. Xavier, to me, has just not had the season that we all hoped for. Xavier
is playing better, though, down the stretch.
They have. Yeah, they have. But, see, I think Creighton wins that game, but the 2.5, 3. Laying points away from Omaha with Creighton is usually something that doesn't work out too well. That's the only issue I have with that. But I don't know if I trust Xavier, so it still takes probably Creighton or nothing in that game. George Washington, George Mason. George Washington played an overtime game today against UMass. They're not a deep team. Turning around playing tomorrow early afternoon against George Mason. George Mason is not a great favorite. That's the only issue, but I'd still lean to George Mason -8. I'd always look toward backing an underdog before a favorite in these neutral court conference tournaments, but they're up against it a little bit, George Washington, after having to extend to overtime today a little bit in that game. The MAC, I don't have much on the MAC because Buffalo's just, going to, I think, run away with that conference. Ball State against Bowling Green. Ball State actually could be worth a look against Bowling Green. Bowling Green hasn't played yet. Ball State has, but Ball State is a team that underachieved a little bit based on the talent they have with other teams in the MAC. They won their first game against an Eastern Michigan team that had been okay in the MAC. Now you play Bowling Green and you're in a price range -1, just win the game. I'd lean a little bit to Ball State there. I mentioned NC State, kind of interested in them. Virginia Tech, Florida State. I'll tell you what, from a coaching standpoint, Virginia Tech -1.5 is the play, you would think. I don't know if I trust Florida State. I mean, it's the same old. The good thing for Florida State is if they get past Virginia Tech tomorrow in the quarterfinal, they can be a team that's better equipped for these second game in 2 days, third game in 3 days type of situations because they have a deep bench. Leonard Hamilton has a team with the Seminoles where they go 9, 10, even sometimes 11 players into their bench game by game. He spreads out the minutes. There's guys that are on the bench that are equally capable of contributing at both ends of the floor as the 5 starters that he's got on this team this year. So they have the depth to be a good team to back in these kind of conference tournaments, Florida State. But first they got to beat Virginia Tech, and I'm not sure they will because I think Virginia Tech's pretty good. They've got, our Canadian buddy, Walker Alexander, who's played great. What's been impressive, too, is without Justin Robinson, they've been able to still, tread water. I mean, they've been without Justin Robinson for a very long time now. Virginia Tech still managed to get the job done. Indiana versus Ohio State. Indiana 2.5. Probably Ohio State or nothing there. I don't know if Indiana should be laying points to anybody. Ohio State, though, is another one of those teams that a lot of their good performances have been in Columbus. You get them on the road. You get them in a neutral court setting. This, of course, Chicago is where the Big Ten tournament is. It's tricky, but I will not be taking Indiana there. I'll tell you that right now. That's definitely Ohio State or nothing for me there. Penn State definitely kind of interests me against Minnesota. Penn State is one of those teams in the Big Ten where it looks awful that they started the conference season losing, 7 or 8 games in a row to begin the conference Big Ten season. But I'd say 6 or 7 or 8 of those losses for Penn State early in Big Ten play were like nail biters, right down to the wire, close games. It just could not find a way to get over the hump, finish those games, and make the winning plays at the end of those tight games. But they figured it out. They've played better since then. And Penn State's actually coming into this Big Ten tournament with a lot of momentum. Let me look it up, but I know they have played much better basketball down the stretch late in the season. Mike Watkins has been great for them. Pat Chambers, the coach, you got to give him credit. They lost all those close games. It's very easy to lose belief, lose confidence, say, geez, we've lost so many close games. How are we going to, keep fighting, finding that will to keep battling, find a way to get over this, find a way to be better in endgame situations. And finally, Penn State's found that ability to do that lately. And Minnesota, to me, they've been an absolute disappointment. Minnesota and Richard Pitino's team. His seat might start to warm up a little bit in terms of the pressure on him to get turned around a little bit. Minnesota.
Oh, shit. This is that fucking insane. We're just talking about not taking a 3. Houston Rockets don't get desperate. Chris Paul takes it to the rack. Doesn't settle for the 3. 10 seconds left. This is how pros do it. Takes it to the rack and 1. And going to the free throw line. And the Houston Rockets have cut this fucking lead to 1 point if he hits the free throw here.
Well, the college basketball is over, so I'm going to put that on right now.
Wow. 104, 103. 10 seconds left.
All right. Good time to put that on. Wow.
They got a puncher's chance, Babano. They got to foul him, and they can hit a 3 at a time, maybe. You know what I mean?
You do, exactly. You've got some life here. Maybe the Rocket curse will end tonight after all.
This is just a tease, isn't it?
It could be. It is Houston after all. Maybe they're just doing all this to fuck with you.
Yeah, I know.
Believe me, I think that sometimes with teams that I'm just, Penn State is on a roll. Penn State or nothing. I don't want Minnesota in that game tomorrow. Big Ten tournament, Grinch. Penn State -2.5 would be the way I'd look. So we got a bunch of leans. We gave you and everybody watching a lot of stuff. NC State we're interested in. Syracuse we're interested in. Penn State we're interested in. Ohio State we're interested in. Illinois against Iowa, 100%. Even though they went to overtime tonight, I'll be looking at Illinois again. Iowa is flaming out, is crapping out down the stretch. Iowa was horrible late in the season, awful. This Iowa team was overrated to begin with. They were not as good as they were early in the season. They can't play a lick of defense. This team, I don't like Fran McCaffrey. He blows his stack. I don't think he's that great a coach. Hasn't done enough with this Iowa team. They have, again, I think they're a little soft at times. We'll see if Illinois. It concerns me that Illinois had to take Northwestern to overtime. Like this is going to be coming off an overtime game, but I will still try to make a case for Illinois tomorrow against Iowa. Iowa's just trending in the wrong direction right now.
Bano.
And of course, St. John's. I love that bet tomorrow.
All right, here we go. 10 seconds left.
All right. Yep. 10.8. Here we go. Yeah, Iowa. I don't know what happened to Iowa. Just really bad basketball for them down the stretch. Here we go. Curry. What happened here?
I don't know what the foul was there.
Call a foul?
Yeah, I don't know. They barely touched him. It looked like he traveled, to be honest. Of course, there's Ed Malloy. Fuck, of course Ed Malloy's there.
There's some real –
He traveled.
There's some real inept officials. Scott Foster, this guy. Malloy's not great.
He traveled.
Terrible. That's what Mike D'Antoni's trying to point out.
The only thing is, Ed Malloy, I'm telling you, I think this guy's like, fuck this guy, man. But they actually did foul him. So he got away with the travel, but he got hit before. I agree with it. Like, I have money on it, so I'll bitch, but they touched him before.
Yeah.
All right, well, you got Steph Curry. He's not going to miss, so it's fucking going to be 106, 103 with 8 seconds left.
And 8 seconds left. You're down to. You're just not even enough time to go quick 2 and foul again.
No, it's just
down to the point. You got to go for the 3 here.
And you can't worry about it at the time. You just got to try to hit the 3. All right. All right, he hits it.
All right, here we go. Timeout, of course. Yep.
Yeah. College should institute that where if you call a timeout, like NBA, now they can inbound the ball at half court, right, if they want.
Yep.
On the other side of the court, I mean, like college, you can't do that.
I like that idea, yeah.
Yeah, like that's why these NBA teams, that's why they save the timeout. So like when, if there's like 0.9 left, it's like, all right, we can call timeout and inbound the ball, at least on the other side of the court, right? Well, if any team can hit a 3 here, it's Houston.
I was going to say, they're the one team you shouldn't have to beg to hit a 3 from. Please hit a 3. The king of 3-point shots, the NBA, Houston Rockets. Surely we can get one from them. These bastards, can't we?
So I played Washington State plus 11.5, guys. Small play on the way out.
I don't buy this BS, by the way, Steve Kerr said about it. I wasn't saying that about Draymond Green and the little video they show of him where it sounds like he's so fucking sick of Draymond Green's shit. Yeah, I don't buy that. I honestly thought that's what he said. Sure as hell looked like it.
I didn't realize, Babano, the Canadians are out of the playoff on right now.
Yeah, they're out now. Montreal, yeah. Wow. Or they're out of a spot temporarily. It can change.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They're right there. Carolina's there. Pittsburgh. It is a bundled up race in the East and the West even. Still wide open for the wild cards. All right, up. Timeout again. Houston couldn't get it inbounds.
Some tension.
So Marcus Cousins cooled down. Apparently, he had a little hissy fit after the game the other night.
See Cousins talking to Curry there.
Yeah, looks like he's in a little calmer, cooler state right now. Good to see that. Stress is not a good thing for you.
The NBA is a long season. The players are getting.
They're sick of the regular season. Yeah, they want the playoffs to start. All these teams, especially the good teams, like they're sick of this. Get the real games going. The playoffs. That's when I watch. That's when I watch everything. Yep.
Good call by Chris Edge. Good call, Chris, jumping in on Houston when you did.
Like, I'll be honest, I'm very excited for the NBA playoffs. It's just I want the regular season to get over with.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, like the playoffs are going to be good. Like you could be the most ardent NBA hater on the planet. You've got to admit these playoffs are exciting and intriguing this year.
The first round, sort of like the NHL, the first round of the NBA playoffs is real good.
Yeah. It never used to be that way, but it's getting there now.
All right, here we go. Here's Harden. Oh, and they foul him. Fuck.
Yep. Not letting him even get the 3-point shot away.
Oh, fuck.
Which means they'll have to foul one more time after this. It's 6.4 seconds left. You don't intentionally miss the second free throw. You only do that if there's under 2 seconds left and there's no time.
Normally, but Normally you're not playing the fucking Warriors who don't miss free throws. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's enough time. You're right, Babano. You foul it right away, and then you get after. The thing is, the Warriors are just going to foul you after.
Yeah. See, if I'm coaching, I only do the intentional second free throw miss unless I'm down.
Think about it. What's going to stop the Warriors from just fouling them again after? And they're going to run out of time, like playing this. Like he might, like, dude. We were just talking about it. Like, too bad they don't know how to clank it and fucking like so it bounces all the way back like the college kid did. Let's see. He missed on purpose.
They did there. Okay.
Oh.
Knock it out. Nope. Couldn't get there. Nope. Golden State gets there. Curry up in the air. It's over. That's a smart play by Curry. Just flip the ball up in the air. It'll kill the clock.
So I told you he would miss on purpose. They didn't have time. Fuck. You know, they had to. They almost worked out, but you got to get the ball after.
Well, they're also thinking, as you said, 80% as a team free throw shooters. So what are you going to do?
Well, look, Baban, by the time when it was all said and done, look, like, because the ball takes seconds for the ball to bounce. So, look, all right, boom. Suddenly the ball's bouncing.
See, PJ Tucker got the back tap there.
Even if they got the ball, there was 3.2 seconds left. Like, it would have been a heave desperation. You know what I mean?
Hey, it started out looking really good because he got the back tap from Tucker, got the rebound, but it went to Iguodala as the first guy to track it down and race it down.
And again, Houston screws me.
It's remarkable. No, I feel the pain because I've lost with this team so much. I've usually been on them and they've lost.
Whatever. I still have had a plus night. Hopefully, I can hit this.
Well, college basketball ended up very nice for me today. Very good day. Illinois and St. John's at the end was really good.
What channel's this Pac-12 shit on? The Pac-12 network?
Pac-12 network. Yeah, I can put that on right now. Washington State and Oregon. I'm going to watch that before I
don't get
start counting sheep after that, after this game ends. I'll stay up for this game. We'll see how it goes. Washington State, Oregon.
I'll watch it online a bit. I don't get the Pac-12. I get a lot of networks. I don't get this one. East Coast bias. Washington State and Oregon, they've tipped off. I
got to send you the info for the Nitro TV on the little box, Gabe, because you get Pac-12 network and everything else.
I didn't know that. It's 4-3. I know it's good nights though, but I got to get out of here, Babano. So that's 4-3 Oregon right now. We're on the Washington State Cougars. Check out Babano and get some great hockey insight on Patreon. Every day with the Ice Guys, only $10 a month. We'll speak to you on Friday, Babano.
All right, great stuff, Gabe. Thank you for the shout out there. Have a good night, everybody, and bet responsibly when it comes to this conference tournaments. And good luck. Cash some tickets. Have a good night, everybody. See you.
It was Babano. We got to start bringing Babano on Saturdays. Like, Babano was ready to go for like the 6-hour marathon. All right, I got to go. Hey, at least we had a winning night. It would have been nice if Houston would have won. Fucking Rockets. I'll have some picks for you in the morning, guys. It's kind of unique. We're going to yeah, it's a good call, Gridge. He's counting some sheep. I told you, he talks like you know, the 50s. Count sheep. Like when you're tired and trying to go, if you can't sleep, who counts sheep? And shout out to Drew, actually, who found his weed that he lost last night. And you know what? It's actually he does have a nice batch. Yeah, so we're going to be doing the morning show from here, actually. Check it out. Today was very spirited. Today was very spirited. We're going to be doing the show from here in the morning. Tomorrow night, we're going to be at the basketball game. So we're doing game time decisions, though. So I'll keep you posted. Maybe we'll do a little recap when I get back after the Big East game tomorrow night. We'll throw it down here on Friday night. We'll see you in the morning. We could have Josh Norman on the show tomorrow. And yeah, so I'm talking about like the defensive back, Josh Norman, that doesn't like Odell Beckham. Remember, they got the feud. And Josh Norman, though, doesn't like Dave Gettleman, the Giants GM. Gettleman was the GM of the Panthers and basically just fucking pissed everyone the fuck off there and traded everyone. Like, that's what Gettleman does. Like, he's a destructor. You know what I mean? Like, when he was in Carolina, he was the one that fucking ran Steve Smith out of town. Like, it was so bad, actually. Like, I guess the owner intervened, like, when he was dealing with Greg Olson, that they were worried he was going to fucking fuck up Olson and trade him. So they were like, all right, we're taking it over, basically. Like, D'Angelo Williams was the one ripping him, saying fucking Gettleman's a fucking clown. And like, D'Angelo Williams, too, is he's not like an asshole guy that rips everyone, but D'Angelo Williams was laughing like yesterday on Twitter. He's like, all you Giant fans fucking don't know what you're in for with this guy. That's the thing. Like, it seems like a lot of fans are like, oh, Odell's overrated, Odell this and that. But it seems like all players are all like, the Giants are fucking clowns for trading Odell. All right, so we got to get out of here. And that's right, Brooks. I saw your email. Sorry I didn't return it, Brooks. But yeah, we haven't had a tournament or a pool or anything in a little while. But we'll do the March Madness pool. We'll set that up over the weekend. If you want in, $100 entry, NCAA March Madness bracket. 2 entries max per person. 2 entries max per person. CBS March Madness bracket. Other than that, you're on your own. See you in the morning, guys. We're on Washington State plus 11.5. Let's get it.